Welcome, everybody. Today, we're over on YouTube. I thought I'd give it a shot, give it a try again. Still running into some odd, like, chat shenanigans, having to sign in, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not awful. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into some shenanigans, some stuff and things. What song is that? That is Footfalls. That is a Final Fantasy XIV track, specifically the one in the Endwalker trailer. So, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. I can't really do anything about that because that's a Twitchism. Or not Twitchism, excuse me. Words, brain. That is a streamism, so there's just a little bit of a delay. Yeah, just be cognizant of that. I will try to answer in the best ways that I can. We got Samurai today. Now, normally, I play tank. I hate queues. I hate DPS queues so much, like you have no idea. So, give me a second here. Let me swap over here, because I need to actually be on the other side. Wow, the scuff is already real. So, yeah, I hate queues so much. Paladin and White Mage are kind of where I've mained for Dawn Trail. I'm a very aggressive White Mage, and I actually greatly enjoy it. So, that's a thing. This is, in fact, real dingus hours. But I figured today, we're going to go in. We're going to attempt to level some Samurai. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to do some things. We're going to hang out. People have questions. That is also a thing. If you're looking for VODs, I'm going to plug the Kids in the Kip TV channel. That is where I do upload a lot of these VODs, including since ARR post, since 2.5, I believe, the finale. That's where I've posted a lot of stuff. So if you are curious on where certain VODs and stuff are, that is where most of them are at. I can't talk in Discord anymore because us isn't allowed because of your age limit. See, that I'm sorry about that. I didn't even set that age limit. Like, Discord just messaged me and it's just like, yeah, you're now 18 plus, and I'm just like, okay. I think it had to do with a certain Kip channel and firearms content being discussed. I think the two of them in tandem just kind of broke that, which is unfortunate because, like, I didn't set that. 99 Sam drip. No. The Heavens Turn attire, it makes me feel like Scorpion Clan again. Just straight up L5R Scorpion Clan. So I kind of dig it. Also, for those of you who actually finished the story up through Endwalker, it's a great sword. I like it. It's not an Endwalker sword. This is a Stormblood sword. But I thought it was fitting. These travel stuff right now. Yeah, no, like, I don't even think it's open because of Dawn Trail, right? It's not even open right now. I don't know when it's after Savage, because Savage just launched, right? Like, we have initial clears already, right? I'm trying to remember when they actually open it up to people. I have to check what the 99 Samurai drip is, actually. That's a really good thing. Let me go check that out. I don't think I've actually seen it. Like, I can do the content. It's just the queues are murder. Oh, hi, Q. Oh, hi, Mock. Nah, don't worry about it. Do not worry about hopping over. Do not worry about... Oh, I am good. I can just solo queue. The issue is just getting the consistent queues to pop. I can run content. They opened it with... Oh, they opened it up. So is it just scuffed right now, then? Huh, so at least it's open. I was gonna say something about Black Mage. I did want to get Black Mage up. Black Mage's expansion seems like it's going pretty hard. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying how the 90 kit played. It was the first 90 I got in A Realm Reborn, which, you know, yeah, that's a lot of hours for just, like, 6 roulettes. God, I haven't played Samurai in Frontlines in forever. I usually just hop into Frontlines because, like, it's just easy XP. I don't even do good in Frontlines. Like, I try, but it's not for lack of trying, I assure you. Frontlines is, for all intents and purposes, just built different. I wonder what WoW's equivalent is, if WoW has an equivalent. Isn't it the stupid, like, tower one? The one that people get reported for standing under their tower? Which I guess is technically not how you play the game mode because it has to be a 24v24. But I still think that's like 2, right? That's like 2 total teams. Flash moving with oh hi Mark. I have a lot of references that I do. There are many isms that I've picked up over the years, in no small part thanks to Vine Sauce too. That is definitely a huge one. Love this content so much. Simultaneously popping LB3. Oh, that's terrifying. Samurai's kit did get buffed with Dawn Trail though, I noticed. Your Make Yo Shisui, your stupid sticker thing, I guess that got nerfed in 7.05. But our second big hit, so we have your stickers lead to your big hit, and you have a cloned big hit as your blue scale. Your blue scale no longer has 2 charges, and I'm like, excuse you? I mean, hypothetically, if I wanted to, I could in fact pop 6 Higginbana now. I don't know why I do that, but it's possible. Why would you ever pop 6 Higginbana? Well, you see, you make your Shisui, you hit your first skill, get your 1 hit, get your 1, that's your Higginbana, clone Higginbana on another target, hit your second sticker, Higginbana, clone Higginbana on 2 separate targets. Like, we can get silly. Question WoW as well as dungeon and questing. Vinny is awesome, yes. I absolutely love Vinny Vine Sauce. Dude is a huge inspiration for what I've done over the years and want to still continue to do. Dude goes hard. I've had a couple people want me to get into WoW, and I'm just like, I'd play WoW if people actually played WoW. And according to them, because they played WoW for years, right? They were playing WoW when I was in high school, which was like, God, like 11, 12 years ago at this point, which is wild to think about. Like they were playing since at least Lich King, I believe. And like, according to them, like people just, it's Destiny effect, right? People come in, play up to a certain point, leave, play the end of the expansion, and then call it good. Which, I mean, if that's the play loop for the player base, I mean, you can't really fix that. Like, I hear it's good. I mean, there's MMO isms I'd like to try out, but it just, I already played too many MMOs and too many things, and I'm kind of scattered as is. But otherwise, like, I mean, the people that are into it, are into it, right? I mean, they run that Mythic Plus just fine. I mean, yellow's already ahead. They're in mid. I think we're gonna pinch yellow. Cataclysm really came out in 2010. I was playing Lord of the Rings Online when that came out, actually, when Cataclysm came out. I remember the promo material. That's actually a game I've been wanting to go back to, is Lord of the Rings Online. But, I mean, I would love to do more streaming, but reactions are kind of where YouTube is at, if that makes sense, or at least, you know, what I've been doing. The most interest has been shown. So I'm kind of incentivized to do reactions, you know, because Costco meme, I like money. But streaming is fun. Streaming can be incredibly fun. I just have to balance it with a bigger React schedule. I've been wanting to go through... I got Diablo recently, actually, because I've never played through Diablo. None of them. So I got Diablo 1 Hellfire. I got that... Well, I had it on GOG, but I guess it just released on Blizzard Battle.net. I got Diablo 2 Resurrected, and then I've had Diablo 3 for years. So that's something I've been itching to play. Something I've been itching to try out. Just because the gameplay loop seems fun. I don't know enough about it. Like, the story seems legit. The story seems cool. We have just hit 69 views. I love it. My eyes looked over at that exact message. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see what metrics here on YouTube are like. I know people want me to dual stream. I physically just can't. Like, if I do dual stream and it taxes my internet to like the absolute fucking max, like I have no breathing room at that. Which with streaming, right, you want to give yourself over. So if I'm doing 1080p, right, and I'm doing say like 6,000 kilobits per second, like I have to have a buffer. I can't just have an internet that is like capped out at 6,000 kilobits per second, right? I gotta have like 9,000, reasonably like half over what you're doing. So if I'm streaming at say, oh, I don't know, something ungodly like 10,000 and the output accepts it, like I should have like 15,000, right? So half over. Like, I tax myself running 720p, like 3,000 per, because Idaho internet. I can only do so much with that. So that's why I usually just stream over on Twitch. I'm a little more established over there. Instead of retail, because I lost interest in the direction it's going. I would play retail just because I want to know like where it's going. I want to feel how it plays in comparison to games like Lord of the Rings Online, RuneScape, and even Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, like, I've clearly played 14, at least in some capacity. Like, I'm ready for Savage. I don't have it static. I don't have people to play Savage with, but I mean, I'm ready for like the newest Savage. I can play content. I can get to the end goal. I just I can't solo shit. My addiction to not just front lines, right? But my addiction to roulettes and leveling, that is definitely a RuneScape holdover, but it definitely doesn't help my case as well. Because it's like, oh, what are you doing? Well, I'd love to do, you know, Shadowbringers EX2. I'd love to be able to grind, you know, the Aura site for weapons to sell on the marketplace. But that ain't exactly happening. I don't think I synced. Okay, I can do some nutty things synced, right? Even synced in Endwalker. I mean, like, I was doing Dead Ends, because I main Paladin, right? I main Paladin. Dead Ends 2, Boss 2, Dead Ends Boss 3. I've soloed from like 70+%. I've soloed whatever the Elpis dungeon is. Soloed Final from like 70%. It was like 60%. I think our dancer died at like 65. I hate doing it. I hate soloing content. So I usually just throw myself into a wall at that point. Plus, I mean, it is also logically a form of griefing, right? If I'm a tank, I have armor, like armor value, etc., right? If I know I can solo content, sure, awesome. However, if it takes me 20 minutes to do so and everyone dies, you know, 5 minutes in, so it's going to take me another 15, 20 minutes to actually do the activity, I mean, I am making their game experience lesser. I'm ruining their experience for all intents and purposes. The only time I really kind of shirk that, like I kind of circumvent that, is if the team is clearly having a problem. So there's a Dawn Trail dungeon where you have to, it's the 100 dungeon for the story. You have to deal with patterns on the floor and stuff. So, how's the audio, by the way? The audio's fine, right? Hey, Slushy, how's it going? Might not farm it. I'm certain you should easy farm it with a group. That's the thing. I don't have a group. And my hiatus before Dawn Trail, because, you know, I had blitzed the entirety of Endwalker post, right? Like, that just, I needed to step away from the game, and then that killed any like, static potential and growth, etc. But I mean, like, I would love to. Like, I can clearly run content. I run Destiny raids for fun. Like, I have no incentive to ever run Riddle Nightmares ever again, right? I don't have an incentive unless it's on Master for a challenge. I run dungeons and raids and stuff because I enjoy the mechanical aspect of it, which is why 14 I latched onto it. Hey, King T-Bird, how's it going? Audio sounds good? Okay. I go between a couple different set volumes for the game, so just make sure the game's not overpowering. Also, YouTube, this isn't going to be boosted after the fact, because this is just going live as the VOD for all intents and purposes. So the audio is going to feel different than it does, because I actually like boost the audio over on the Kip TV channel. Sadie Groove's up for extreme unsync, people farming Mount day in and day out. Well, the fact that we can unsync it easier, I might do that. I might honestly have to hop into some of those groups, and if anything, I mean, yeah. It's not like I'm running like UwU or something, which you have to do synced, right? Like ultimates and stuff. Like, I mean, I've done Hades too. It's just a matter of like, one, remembering the mechanics. Two, making sure everyone vaguely knows what they're doing. Hey, James, how's it going? God, we're still... I remember, like, PvP games used to take a lot less time. And it's because they updated how certain crystals spawn and stuff. That was, what was it, a 6.5 update? Or a 6.55? Games take so long now. But yeah, all stuff, all things. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm honestly probably going to run the raid series at this point, the new raid series, Arcadian. I hear the orchestral roles are selling for some big money right now. Like I hear they're going for some decent money. He's great. I mean, my warrior, like that's my weapon for that. That's my chosen glam. The only other axe I would ever consider is burning battle axe from the heavens, but that's like T, right? That's Epic of Alexander. That's content that I don't have access. Well, I have access to it, right? But I don't. That's content that I cannot reasonably at this time run. So I use Augmented Thumosis just because it is one of the best looking warrior weapons in the game in my opinion. Get back here. Fuck off. Nah, I gotta drop that. I can't. I gotta peel off that until team gets here. Well, okay, team was behind me. I could have done that then. Focus that paladin. Come on, we got this. We're gonna become an actual nightmare for Kip. I think a couple of times, yeah. I think I've dreamed out about a couple of times. Now have all the crafting mats in the process, yeah. I mean, that's that's the thing is if I get a unsynced group going and we're doing like Hades EX, I mean, I'll farm that for a couple hours, especially if it's like what 5 minutes per run and it's consistent. Like, yeah, that just makes money. Kai streaming before, enjoyed your react, cons figure, stop by and give them appreciation. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, I decided to do YouTube today just to mix it up a little bit because usually I'm over on Twitch. I can't simulcast because internet, like, not restrictions, just internet not good enough to do it. So I wanted to kind of see over a similar period of time, just effectively doing roulettes today, right? Roulettes and maybe a couple things. Wanted to see what the metrics were like between the two. I'm on a stream with Tristan's L1. Nice, nice. Congrats on new monitor. Yeah, it is a little more relaxed, if that makes sense, when I stream, unless it's something like, I don't know, like if I'm doing a Dead Space challenge run or something, it is definitely a little more chill. Reactions are kind of a, like, yeah, I stream them, right? I stream them and I chop them up and then I put them on, right? But generally it has more of a, like, a through line, a focus. Like if I'm reacting to, say, Bad Electrician, right? I'm reacting to his video, the history, and there is a through line. And, you know, if I tangent super hard, I can just get back to the video. It was a long run lately. You can crank out 3 in less than that time. DPS Prime's first cast and skip the only... God, dude, I gotta just do that. Like, I need to go back in. I also need to learn... Because now we have the unsynced ability. I need to... I need to go back through P12. I didn't do Pandemonium Savage. I want to go through Pandemonium Savage because I want the mounts. Specifically Bird and Abystoma. I want those. Eden should be a lot easier now, too. A minimal party should be able to do the entire Savage. Hey, we lost! Woo! Finally! Kip, what do you mean, finally we lost? Finally we lost. Like, it's great. It's a great feeling. I'm freed from this mortal coil. Kaze Mastery? I don't know which one Kaze even is. Natsu... Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I've played Samurai, and I still don't get the entire rotation down perfectly. That's probably an Alliance raid moment, Captain. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, that's my inherent consistent issue with DPS queues, is I can't actually play the game. Speakers who can't play PS5. Yeah, that makes sense. Big MMO, but it's hard to pick one. How's Final Fantasy? Here, it's great. Old heads tell me to try WoW. So it depends what you want to do and what kind of gameplay loop you're wanting, in my opinion. Like, picking an MMO is not easy. As somebody that came from RuneScape, right? RuneScape and Lord of the Rings Online, having to come into this, it was pretty daunting. Aromaborn, if you will, if anyone plays or anyone picks it up, Aromaborn is a brick. At this point, I would listen to some. There's some people in the community, who I think some of them even just tell you just to skip through Realm Reborn and just get the cliff notes. I think there's actual videos to catch you up at this point. It is you have to go into Final Fantasy XIV knowing you're gonna read. Like, you have to put that attention into it to get any return out of it. Fey weapons look dope, especially for caster. Are we talking about Titania? Her weapons are great. The 99 Sam. Yeah, no, that's what I was doing. So I went to Tuliolol. Because I need to play something else. I was actually getting into Reaper. Reaper got buffed again, which kind of blows my mind a little bit. Let's go physical DPS. How bad does it look? I kind of like it. It's pretty minimalistic. I actually really like it. Yeah, I like it. Not bad. I don't like eye patches in this game. Okay, but that actually goes hard though. What is that? Is that a chocobo? What is that? Is that a knots? Oh, that's Valagramanda. God damn it. That actually makes a good Scorpion Clam fucking glam. Thanks for pointing that out. Skip all but the job quests and skim those. Watch a catch-up video at Heavensward. Like, I mean, so once I got to like 2.5, like I loved the finale. The finale was good, but good God, it is a brick to get through a Realm Reborn. Hi, yeah, Acriphius. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat where I can. How's it going? Let's skip like rampant ES. Yeah. Iron, how you doing today? Oh, you know, doing pretty well. Just kind of chilling. Just kind of playing some 14 today. I figured I'd see what YouTube was like over here. I was actually able to hop on without any sort of issues today, which is an oddity, but I mean a welcome one. It really kind of just screams Sorcian, like Scorpion Clan though. Assassin's outfit, I feel, is going to go interesting. The Kanji set. Not a fan of the skirt, or it's not skirt, the Hakama, right? I'm not a fan of it. But that's why I have the Heaven's Turn set. So that's a thing. I don't know, I'm mixed on this. I think the chest piece is probably one of the better ones. Assassin's coat. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig the ninja set. It's not bad. I made me get Recoded Flashbacks. Fun game, by the way. I heard a lot of good things about Recoded. No, but it's... So I would argue... if you're wanting to invest the time into 14, you can get that investment back. Or, like, it will respect your time. But you have to put time into the game. It's like we died for Assassin's Creed cosplay. I kind of dig it. Made by Enix. Yeah. Heavensward, Bard Quest for Shadows Endwalker story. Does it? I actually haven't been... That's my lowest class, actually. I'm just not a huge physical DPS or range DPS fan, so I actually haven't even played Bard past 50. I've been skipping a bunch of the job quests at this point. Like Astro, I have no idea what happens after 50. Scholar, something about Tonberries. I just was trying to get caught up. I had to blitz like a lot of stuff. I had to blitz like flight. I had to blitz so much stuff, dude. What am I currently at? I'm at 14. 6 minutes. That's not bad for an Alliance raid queue timer, though. That's really not. Paladin sword looks like an upgraded... I hate the Paladin sword. As somebody that got it, like, I main Paladin. I looked at Clarent. So, I hate Clarent specifically. I like the length of it, right? I think the length, I think the edge of it, I think these are all fine. That right there underneath the pommel, that looks like a break point right there. And then below the cross guard, I'm not necessarily a fan of that. It looks like there's a break point there. Other than that, I mean, it's fine. Like if they got rid of this, like these two little gaps below the cross guard, right below the Keons, if they got rid of those gaps and it was a solid piece, I think I'd be into it more. But I mean, it's neat. It's interesting. The shield's actually very good for Paladin Glams. What's Limbar all about? Song of Oblivion. Oh, wow, that's a foreshadow. Dear God. Okay, that makes sense. Got the race name of the cat people outfit as a glamour. You mean Mikote? Because I mean that's what I am. I am an cat person. I have this impeccable thing of whenever I'm on stream it rains. It's kind of funny actually. I got HP's favorite child up to level 70. Black Mage is great. I got it up to 70 in a Realm Reborn, or 90 in a Realm Reborn. I just haven't been able to go back and level it. Just because, so we had 2 DPS classes introduced, right? The Healer Strike has nothing to do with this, right? The Healer Strike is inconsequential. I meme about it consistently. What is kind of the issue is that 2 DPS classes were released. So we had Viper and Picto both released at the same time. And naturally, everyone wants to play Viper or Picto, so thus they're in the DPS queue, right? Because when they queue up, you queue up as tank, DPS, or healer. Like, as tank, I could actually play the game. In fact, the Healer Strike has done more for, or at least, I guess, the threat of a Healer Strike has done more for my tank queues than anything. Like, my tank queues pop so quickly. Look at all these. Don't you need tank, right? Like, so many. It was a good expansion to be Paladin, is all I'm gonna say. No auto umbrella. I'm not in the rain. Or I think I already got rid of it. I had auto umbrella on. It was the Fat Cat umbrella. Don't know where it is at this exact moment. 160 when I got to Endwalkers. Gave the reveal just Oblivion Bard plot points left is just a myth until then. It's they foreshadow a lot. Remember, we had, what was it, a Realm Reborn dungeon. It was Arbordium was Heaven's Ward. It was the stupid Tonberry dungeon. Wanderer's Palace. Wanderer's Palace Hard had the 2-headed Mamulja, right? And he actually gets referenced in the Dawn Trail questline of just like, oh yeah, no, these sacred siblings, they just kind of go off and try to, you know, make a name by conquesting stuff. You know, he was the Silver Scale, and then your character just goes, ah, like, wait, you mean the guy from the dungeon? There's writing on the Paladin set. I've noticed there's writing on the sets. I didn't know what it was, and I heard that we didn't have a cipher for it yet. What is this? What is this set? Oh, it's Thunder Yards. It looks kind of Ascian-esque, actually, a little bit. I kind of like it. I do, actually, really like the Sage Arm from... Oh, the right one. I do like the Sage Arm for Sages this expansion. I like the longer Sage Arms, the wings. I think they're just good aesthetically. Come on, DPS. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, welcome to Final Fantasy queues. It's always the one DPS. Sometimes it's the healer. Sometimes, on a rare occasion, it's the tank. Generally, though, you will have one DPS just consistently. It's the one. Always the one. Come on, DPS. I believe in you. I want to play content. It's especially bad. Say it's like 3 a.m., right? And nobody's on your server, or like very little people are on. And you get that one queue and everyone else is ready because you've been waiting for, say, a half hour to an hour, and that one DPS doesn't, and then everyone leaves. It's the worst feeling. Been a while since I streamed. Oh, you know, it's been doing good. Just kind of hanging. Playing some 14 today. No cape for Odin armor. I like that they've kind of, I don't know, they're kind of weird with capes. Like, the Paladin Endwalker set had a cloak. Like, my healer set has a cloak, right? The Credendum armor, but the Paladin set for Dawn Trail didn't have a cloak, and that kind of like threw me off because I'm like, that's kind of just a give me. Ooh. Oh. Wow, it's been a hot minute since I've done this. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. It's not circus for the, you know, for the 100th time. Okay. Yeah, that's, huh. It's one guy mid-ground. I'm gonna see if I even remember their mechanics. Good God. It's been a minute. I might actually have to. I mean, I have food to spare. We're not gonna talk about my inventory. Oh, we got someone new here. Or it's actually the best. Didn't they fix the earring interaction though? Because it was up to 90 or up through 90, not up to 90, so they fixed that. I thought that was this last patch. What's cracking? Oh, you know, just kind of hanging out, just kind of chilling, having some fun. Race description skit. God, man, I need to watch it again. Who's main tanking? Come on. You got this. Who's main tanking?
To me life's resolve.
The music goes way too hard in this. To get that again.
No true
Drop the
abundance.
Higginbana like it's hot. I should have done.
The heartbeat of the land.
Ow. Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine.
Nourish the soil.
Is that an? That's an N. I'm gonna put a version of Eye of the Tiger. Oh, hell yeah. Main tank is Sam. See, you joke, but I've had to do it. I've had to main tank Ultima because the tank died. And I, as a ninja, had to become the tank. I hated it. See, the running joke is that I'm always the tank. So I loved going over to tank because I actually got the armor bonus. I have consistently had to tank really stupid stuff. 2, 3. That's an N. We're not gonna talk about my rotation. It's been so long since I played Samurai. Damn it! It's fine. It's whatever. Not like I can't come back from that. Back here.
The breath of the earth.
How chunky these bosses are. Right, she's gonna hit. Wait. Yeah, then it's the other. You know, you'd think that me having to main tank this fight, I would understand this fight. I don't remember anything about this fight. I think I've done this once.
My heart rejoices.
Yeah, I don't want to main tank that. Not with my current armor value. Definitely don't want to do that. No, sir. Laurel Haze. Damn, I'm having to actually think about this. 1. No. Oh, found the one safe spot. Okay, it's the first Stormblood dungeon. It's the forced march. Know exactly what that mechanic is now. Tank dodge crit build. Man, it does not work that way. I assure you, especially Dawn Trail, you will be taking damage. There is no avoiding that. You will be fucking taking damage. God, those dungeons hit so hard.
Beyond adversity lies strength.
guess this should hit yellow first. There we go, there's the push.
Be strong for what awaits.
That was effectively blind because I had zero idea what any of that was going in. Good God. It's been a hot minute. OSQ dungeons hit harder too. Oh, yes they do. Yes they do. I love the funny cactus dungeon. The final boss is Chef's Kiss. I was very happy. He's nuts. Got him. No, I know as samurai I need to work on not camping my the diamonds. I need to not camp that gauge. I need to not camp my gauge so much, and I need to hit my my mitigation a lot more. That's what I'm specifically practicing today. Trying to actually get used to, you know, playing again. You play tank for a few hundred hours, and you're just like, man, my life is different now. God, Fred, these guys actually give you vuln stacks. What am I missing? I have consistently missed my pink one. There we go. It's the greatest. Got him. Barbecue, boss got shrimp, got chicken, I got crab. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. It's so good. I had like and microwave pizza, or not microwave. I had like and oven pizza. It was okay. I probably won't buy that brand again. Probably won't get it was okay. It was and pizza. It did its job. Once I finish up melee as a tank, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, I can eat damage. Exactly. As a tank, I'm like, good God, I can actually eat damage. It's wild. Still alive. Oh no, there's another spawn, right? I always get like Code Geass vibes. The finale. It hits a very specific set of notes. Oh, you know, just Behemoth dropping comments as usual. Take my shortcut. Oh, I still didn't actually get rid of that. Oh man, my rotation's all sorts of messed up today. Daily garlic bread, nice. Can't go wrong with garlic bread, to be fair. Baked beans, not the beans!
I couldn't stay away.
Oh yes.
It seems my sister shall be joining.
Yes, there is a horse among us. Peter the horse is here.
'Tis only fitting that we face you together.
Can I actually hit my combo?
I will spin your fates.
I don't remember how this even works. It's so long. Yeah, I've done, so this is tier 2, right? Yeah, I think this is tier 2. I've only done tier 2 like
Have you the
once.
strength to defy fate?
Garlic bread is in fact just built different.
Are mine to command.
When in doubt, if I see a chain, I just move. I'd much rather my team not actually get hurt by me. 1, 2, 3.
I shall measure your work.
Trying to remember, I think if you don't kill him in time, I think that it actually just wipes you, right? That's why the timer's there. Yeah. It's an auto win.
Surrender to my power.
I don't remember this up. Just stay out of the. Just gonna stay out of the goo. There we go. Yeah, because I just like, no, I'm gonna get hit again. Oh, come on. Oh, that's some serverism. Okay, everything in. Yeah, that's usually like most days, honestly. Sometimes I hear something really stupid. I'm just like, okay, but why though?
Pray to the stars on high.
That is a tank buster. That is not my job this run, Captain. Need an arm's length that. Right. Okay, I know what that mechanic is now. That makes sense. No, so I've done one, and I've only done one multiple times now that I think about it. I have done 3 once. And that was before Dawn Trail launch. God, I need to do more of this. It's been so long. So yeah, like he's at 25%. I don't care, it's free, right? Oh, both our healers are down too. Ooh, that's rough. I confused them. I thought they were towers, not pushes. That's why I did what I did. Yeah, you might want to avoid that. Okay, we're getting our healers back up. Perfect.
Time marches to my will.
Also, I don't think arm's length actually... Wait, what? It's because out of the corner of my eye I saw the camera. I know the mechanic. I just thought the 2 was the 1. That's rough. Yeah, I looked out of my eye. I'm like, oh yeah, that says 1. That was not how that worked. Not how that worked at all. It's also weird just to not tank. I hear it is better than it used to be, though. I hear that DPS used to be the only class you ever played. And so thus, they made DPSs really squishy to compensate so that, like, you didn't, I guess, used to even need a tank. Like, no, all the mechanics make sense. I don't know why the water got me in the way it did. Because, yeah, I moved in. Yeah, like, this guy's fine. I don't know how that got me.
This too is fate.
To avoid the other 2? Is that the play there?
Upon the most exalted of battlefields.
Okay, this is why I do this, right? This is why I actually hop in and try to figure out how DPS is actually played. Because I need a lot of practice at it still. I mean, I'll show up as, you know, Paladin at 700. I'll do it. I'll show up as Paladin. But, I mean, I mostly have that rotation on lock. Ooh, right. She had an interesting mechanic, didn't she? You have to roll a Baku. What? Oh no, you can't actually dupe the Higginbana, which does make sense. Or I guess I don't have enough to actually use Subumigeshi. I can't. Yeah, she's not the last, right?
Summon your courage and press on.
I don't even remember what phase she is. See if I even remotely remember this fight.
I, the Fury, shall test your strength of spirit.
1, 2, 3, sticker.
All piercing spear, drink deep of raging blizzards.
So that's an in, that's a out, left, right, in.
For glory, you must be prepared to render
Out.
your all.
Right, left, in. Hey, I did it. That's an in, right, left, in, right, out, left. That's an in, right, out, left. It's a triple tower. I'm in B, so I should theoretically be here. This should be A left, B mid, C right. Do not stack those cleaves. Good God. Tanks know what they're doing.
You must do better than that against me.
That one wasn't bad. Two and three. If that was a single hit, I would have lived that. Nah, this is me not paying attention.
There is no retreat, only victory or defeat.
Drop the Higginbana. 1.
Victory must be seized with one's own hands.
I don't remember what she does here. Right, this is light parties. Well, parties, I guess, technically. Right. That's a thing. That's gonna be rather unfortunate. I need to get better timing those hits.
In ice unyielding, now rest.
Let me react validation. Hi, how's it going?
Mine is the easy.
Going pretty well. We're streaming some games today. Thought I'd try something a little different. I was rude. North.
Oh,
One.
that our clash could continue forever.
So what, should be this one that's safe? Yep, right there, that little pizza slice. Half squared. Or how involved her fight is.
There is no retreat, only victory or defeat.
Fuck. Yeah. That's a freeze.
Yes, lose yourself.
Wait.
in the joy of
No, it
battle.
showed outer ring is the dangerous one. Unless outer ring procced first, then inner ring. Probably that. I couldn't even see what it is. I didn't, what? How did I get hit by that? I was clearly over the left line. I don't know. I've been running into some issues. Deadwalk, the post dungeon. I don't know what happened, if they updated it or what, but I'm noticing that my hitboxes are not what they used to be. I'm not even getting hit by stuff. It's got to be my connection then. Like, I'm not even, because your hitbox is effectively, like, it's a dot under you, right? Like, I'm toying with that. Deadwalk, though, like, the little runners aren't even hitting me, and they're just and they're like, they're grabbing me. So I'm wondering if it's an update they did, or if it's my connection, because I need to figure that out.
All-piercing spear, drink deep of raging blizzards. Well fought. Your next test awaits.
That's done. You know, considering the only other time I did this was a blind tank, I think that wasn't bad. More in scripts. I haven't even dealt with scripts yet. I just blitz combat. It is a very pretty raid series. I will give it that. Alright, which boss are you? Right. It's... yeah, right. Forgot about you. It's Hatsune Miku. Yeah, no, I completely forgot she existed. We do have no one in the cutscene.
Bear to me your lover's heart.
Three.
Behold my power.
The soundtrack is actually a banger. Like, this game, there's actual considerable budget that has gone into this soundtrack.
Lest you wonder, 'tis naught I cannot handle.
That's an inn, right? I misread that completely.
Is it too much for mortals, I wonder? Prepare yourself.
Lot of hits in succession.
Oh, men of ice, have mercy upon them.
Wait. Don't remember this. Oh, right. The full moon's will. Yeah, okay. Now I know. It's, Rala, but slightly to the left. Yeah, so there's a line going forward. That entire half of the arena is going to get blitzed. God, keeps turning. You can tell I'm used to playing tank. Okay, 1, 2. Get that big hit. Three. Hi, Tyler. How's it going? Sorry, I'm a little delayed. I was not expecting something this heavy hitting right out the gate. Dog. Dog. What the dog doing?
Let's delight in the simple things.
Yeah, I saw that. Apparently I didn't see that. I didn't see the second hit.
Go on, blade.
Yeah, because then he goes forward. She's diagonal, which bisects the arena. Ooh. Three. I literally saw the particle effects. It's the only reason I actually saw that. If I didn't see those particle effects, I would have been fucked. Or pop that. 5, 6. There we go. Actually mitigated that. That was really sus. Two, faint. What is the dog in fact doing? Hey guys. Just imagining a hey guys Maxor here edit. Would actually be fucking amazing. You know, I don't know if I'm ready for Dawn Trail's Alliance raids now that I remember what this is like. Easy. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know if I actually died on that final one. I died on the other ones, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I died on that one. I want that. Hey, 95. Everything else is pretty much low roll. Can't be that bad. No, it's just gonna be involved, I think. Dude, did I really not get that? Ah, dude. 95, I still lose. Ah, that's rough. I don't know. So, I don't know. I've been getting gypped on rolls for the past, like, several weeks. Like, the most recent one I got was Black Kitten. But that's because I rolled, like, I don't know, like 86 or something like that. The fact that a 95 loses out is just rough. Okay, so that was Alliance. That actually leveled me up. So we'll probably go, what? The story is 350. I already did my book last night, too. I just spammed Thok Extreme. So I actually don't have... the ability to do that. I need Ronson Han. Put something in there. There's gonna be some twist. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready. Vsauce here. What is the dog doing? Let's find out. Vsauce still does things, right? Also, I guess fun fact: Vinny Vinesauce made his channel before Vsauce did, which is an interesting fact. It only rolls back when I used to play SWOTOR. My luck is notoriously bad. It's why in games like Destiny, I just, like, cringe when the community says crafting makes the game worse. Because it's like, look, if I run King's Fall 25 times, I just want the fucking drop, okay? Just give me the drop. Like, if I can clear it and I could do, and say I could do challenges too, especially if I could do challenges, just give me the damn drop. Like... have a pity system, which 14 does have a pity system. So, I mean, that's one of those that I'm like, yeah, no, I'll totally take that. I ain't gonna be like, nah, I'm above pity. No, my luck is awful. I will take pity wherever I can. Where am I going? I always get mixed up when I actually go to Solution 9. I want to go through all my roulettes, and then we'll end on Paladin. I gotta do my expert queue anyways. Well, what am I? I'm 93 now? Well, so I'm 93, so that means I'm on par with my Black Mage. I mean, Samurai... What is Samurai? It's just melee Black Mage. Not incorrect. Oh, GAT on like 50 times before I got Vex. I mean, there's people that have done it like... See, that's the thing. If you do a raid like 50 times and you don't get it, you don't get the drop you're going for, I just don't think that's worth your time because, like, so, like, in a game like RuneScape, you can hypothetically get yourself into a game-ending situation where Ring of Death isn't what it used to be. I liked Ring of Death for that reason. Now I don't even feel like Ring of Death is worth it. But, like, you can die enough. You can get shafted on so many drops. Say, like, 200 runs of Carapac hard mode, right? And you don't get a single staff drop, right? So you're running in the red in terms of GP. You have to still repair your gear. You still have to charge your gear with divine charges. You can get to a point where, well, I just have 0 GP. Damn. Samurai at least can move. You've seen Black Mage and Dawntrail, you can just yoink your ley lines now. No, so you don't need to move if you already hit like a truck, okay? That's the trade-off. Ah, yes. This is Final Fantasy in its purest form. The only thing we're missing is a Lalafell, a Mamora Mora, the stupid sunfish cult, and a Leather Daddy. That's all we're missing. That's fine. This is Final Fantasy in a nutshell. I'll probably do it blindfold. Exactly. That's the thing, is like, I will still do things like Vault of Glass. I'll still do things like Root of Nightmares because I enjoy doing the content. I draw a line when if I do it, say, 20 times, and I had to get hard pity on Quillam's Terminus and Kingsfall, okay? Hard pity on Quillam's Terminus, right? Every other red border had been acquired and crafted before the red border for Quillam's Terminus actually dropped. I got nothing. Oh, you mean just red border? No, I didn't even get a white drop. I didn't even get, like, a standard drop of the weapon. So, yeah. When you start running into situations like that, I'm just like, just don't. Just give me the pity. I'll run the content. I just need a guarantee. It's like I was running on Nightfalls, and the first night, it was, what was it, Glassway for the GM this season? Glassway had the heavy linear, right? And I got, all night, I got zero bait and switch drops. And I'm just like, damn, dude. 0 bait and switch drops total. That's rough. Well, my buddy got like several. And that's the thing. It's all RNG. You can't, sure, drops are weighted, but you can't control that. Your buddy could get, you know, nothing but bait and switches. You could get 0 bait and switches all day. And then you technically have your Vanguard Cipher, which you use to craft, technically. But, I mean, no one ever really uses that. So why if I'm like mount grinding or mount farming, 14 kind of has a hard pity for that, where if I do Rathalos, you know, X amount of times and I keep getting fucked on the mount, well, I just I just have to not do that. I just have to like build up the pity of the totems. Oh, I do get 3rd eye at this level. That's neat. It was actually a surprisingly quick queue. It is just night and day when you go back to ARR content. Like, it is really just night and day. Playing DK, they're fine. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on DK right now. Like, I guess their damage issues have been fixed with the buff. I don't know. How do I word it? I know the damage issues seem to have been fixed at this point in time. I don't know if there's still going to be any sort of viable tank. I mean, like, DK, good DKs are good. Paladin and Gunbreaker have an insane... All the other tanks, actually, have an insane amount of sustain. Warrior could just get its entire health bar back with, like, 2 buttons in an attack. It's kind of wild. Gunbreaker has... It's 3 DPS in Trenchcoat, but, like, it has some buttons. So I'm just kind of like, I wonder what they're going to do with DK. I'm very curious how Dark Knight's going to perform going forward. Good day. I'm just chilling. It's neat. Walker Alliance rates for nearly 20 runs for Glamour. Lost roll 62, 69. That's, yeah. Especially when rolls get so tight like that. Like, rolling a 95, like, just losing out to that. Like, you can only lose out by a 4-point margin. That's a little rough, unfortunately. Warrior hype until Dawn Trail fates. Does mob love to pile on you? Warrior really gets good, I would say, towards the back half of Heavensward. Because then you get your raw intuition, you get your equilibrium, so you start getting tools. Stormblood, I mean, I think Pint's on the right logic train, because Pint used Warrior for his Eureka video, right? So Warrior's very strong in Stormblood. I think Paladin starts taking over probably about Shadowbringers right now, right? Like, it starts taking over in terms of utility. Dawn Trail, though. Dawn Trail, it's got some... Warrior's got some tools. Ah, yes. Cutscene simulator. It's wild to think that you get to Garabanya and you're fighting like 2 Colossuses, just like standard mob pulls. Dutch Devastation. Oh man, I got Ultima last night in queue. I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy that it you know, I didn't have to waste 40 minutes on Praetorium. It depends, because like, so Praetorium does, for all intents and purposes, give you the most amount of experience because it is the longest activity. Like, it's marginally more. Like, I get it, but it still technically does give you more, which is an important thing to note. For whom? Yeah, I totally missed the how very glib thing. Apparently that was fire. 1, 2. I mean, I feel like Samurai actually has a really decent kit. $13 tall? Probably. Well, you assume that, you know, I'm probably on like the 5'5" in terms of character height, right? Can I push? Can I push? We're gonna push. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta get greedy. Sometimes you gotta stand in the damage, freak your healer out for a second. And then they're like, oh, wait, never mind. We were at like 0.5%. No, that was good. That was fine. I mean, it's probably probably like what, 12 to 15 feet tall, which is going to be what, 4 or 5 meters high, potentially. You consider this is easily 2 of me, right? So about 5.5 times 2, right? 11, 12 feet. So that's about 3 to 4 meters, 3 to 4 yards, right? And then you're looking at the Colossus, which is, you know, probably my character on top of that. I mean, I would say, yeah, 5 meters tall, something like that. You also have to consider the vaulted windows and stuff. No, not 13 meters, like 3 to 5 meters. I'm saying like 13 to 15 feet. Am I winning, son? Reasonably, yeah. Mostly it's just gonna be sitting through cutscenes. When you have Praetorium, no one ever really wins, if that makes sense. Nobody wins when Praetorium is involved. Nobody expected a Praetorium Inquisition. Doing the conversions. Yeah, no, 13-ish meters. That's something else entirely. Give me 1 second. I'm having to answer a text. kind of an important text. I'm sorry about that. Currently. Okay, that's done. Anyways. Currently eyes closed. No, it's that I was looking down. I was looking somewhere else. I assure you, if my model's doing something, generally it's on purpose. Because I was having to look away to deal with something. I had somebody like, hey, Kip, want to help me move? And I'm like, we haven't talked in a hot minute. Like, I need to know that stuff kind of in advance. The answer is kind of no right now, too. So, yeah, no, that's, that was on purpose. So I said I was taking a text. Because remember, it's never when I can have 3 hours off stream. And I'll just sit there. Nothing happens. The moment I start streaming, I got people that want to talk to me. It's wild. And obviously, like, there's people like on my mod team and stuff that know, like, anytime they need me or anytime they send me a message, like, I'll look at it, right? But, like, I've had people, like, acquaintances. I'll have people that, like, they just assume I'm not busy. It's one of those weird, like, things where, like, people don't actually consider what I do an actual job. So, thus, they look at it and like, oh, well, Kip's not busy. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like, I'm currently, like, indisposed. Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, that is one of those that, like, that my eyes were closed on purpose there. I was having to look down. I was having to answer the text, like I said. So it's just Praetorium. Nothing else is going on anyways. I'd say we're about par. We're about par for, because I'm looking at the metrics over here. We're about par for Twitch. So I think if anything, Twitch might be the platform that I'm on, unless there's just some incentive to come over to YouTube. Like, it's cool to stream on YouTube, don't get me wrong, and I'm able to, like, say hi to people. Like this, right? If I'm gonna do, like, a one-off stream or something like this, where, like, hey, yeah, let's chill out, let's have a chat, let's talk, right? I think this is perfect. But if I'm gonna go stream, like, I'm probably gonna go stream Resident Evil later, so I'm probably gonna go over to Twitch later. That I'll probably just continue to do on Twitch. You're always busy, not just the conventional way. And I think that's just, like, an inherent misunderstanding. Like, I've also gotten a little more, like, particular about my time. Like, the video I put out recently about somebody trying to come back into my life and just being a general... Sorry, there was a AC doing thing. Otherwise, just being kind of just a general, like, displeasure to deal with, right? Like, I'm allowed to have my time, and it's one of those things, like, consistently I have met people that I'm not allowed to have boundaries around, and whenever I put down, they can put boundaries, right? Oh, Kip, we don't want you talking about this. But the moment I set a boundary, suddenly we have an issue. Well, you're not allowed to do that. I'm allowed to do this. Okay. Do big damage. Lately, I've been making switch to Paladin, massive DPS with a bubble. Paladin is... I main Paladin at this point. Like, Paladin is, for all intents and purposes, my comfort class. Because I like shield and sword. Go bang, right? I like Paladin. Paladin's great. I think it's solid. Hypocrisy. Yeah, it's just the quality of people. I tend to attract interesting people, but the problem is that sometimes interesting people are either not the best, or sometimes they are legit but stop being legit, if that makes sense. So that is a consideration where it's like, it's not necessarily like, and yeah, it's one of those things like you look at, you're like, oh, well, what about, have you considered that you're the issue? Oh, absolutely. I think about it all the time. Maybe am I my own conductor for my own devastation, well, just whatever word you want to use there, right? Am I causing my own problems? In certain aspects, yeah, in certain ways. But in other ways, no, there's only so much you can reasonably say, yeah, this is, you know, my... Like, if you're doing a Destiny, right? Like, you're teaching a raid, right? Say you're teaching Vault of Glass, right? And you say, this is the call-outs. And everyone says, I understand, these are the call-outs. And for the next 5 wipes, you get people that go, I don't know what the callouts are. You never explained it, right? It's like, did we not listen? Are we just like what's the breakdown in communication here, right? Like how that, like at that point, that's not your fault, right? Where you have made an honest attempt. You have tried to do what you physically can do. Sometimes it is outside of your control. But then again, you also run into the, well, either I have the world's... Honestly, I could just have the world's worst luck. I either have the world's worst luck, or it's something that I'm doing. And so I've hit this weird conundrum as of the past year where it's like, okay, is this stuff that I'm doing? So the VTubing, right? VTuber community, right? They don't talk about firearms, really. They're a lot more positive than I am, right? Like, people like Zentrea, Project Melody, Dragonspit, they are so much more positive and so much more influential than I am in so many ways because of the stuff that I've chosen to talk about, but 2 things that I'm expected to talk about, right? Yeah, it makes sense that I'm not a large VTuber because what do I offer in comparison, right? What do I offer in comparison to like any other VTuber, right? What do I offer in comparison to Nuxtaku? What do I offer in comparison to Dokibird? What do I offer in comparison to, XYZ ABC? I would argue not much. Because like they're people like Project Melody and Badger, they kind of keep me going. There's people like Shionhead that I've watched their content, and especially what they say in regards to like, oh, we'll just make better content, right? The In Praise of Shadow situation where he was complaining about making $500, right? And it's like, yeah, I agree with Shionhead, make better content then. If I do a reaction video on, say, Nintendo and ROMs, right, and people don't like it, that's fine. You're allowed to not like the content. I should be doing what I can to capture the attention better. Destiny 2 was the worst when it came to teaching people how to run the raid. No. I mean, like, are you talking about Leviathan or are you talking about Vault? Because Vault was the first ever raid in D1. D2 was Leviathan. Leviathan was fairly easy to teach. Now, Spire of Stars and Crown of Sorrows, those were a little different. I'd love to have those come back. Those were a little different. But in regard to, like, Leviathan, it wasn't that bad. Not Salvation's Edge by any means. Not Vault. So you're probably thinking of Leviathan then. Because Leviathan was the first D2 raid. Yes. Cutscenes.
Look for the lips control panel. It'll be somewhere nearby. Take the lid down, and you should find yourself in the chamber of the Ultima weapon.
It's been so long since I even looked at the Leviathan guide. I don't even remember the raid. I know I had to do it. I did it, I think, like twice. I don't remember enough about it. I kind of miss Menagerie. There's a few things that I actually miss. That actually goes really hard for... That Viper outfit goes really hard, though. I like the cloak on that. Got him.
Tell me, for whom do you fight?
Literally one of the best characters in this game. Like, actually one of the best characters in this game. It's so good.
Do you believe
All my OG Raiders never picked up D2. Well, because D2 was already a betrayal of D1 expectations and D1 players. I mean, it makes sense.
Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on...
To be fair, I can't, in good faith, recommend D2, right? Especially with layoffs today. At this point, I'm just like, this studio just keeps punch after punch after punch. Raids and D1 together, so we all worked great together. Yeah, and like D2 is an inherently different experience, especially now, because of things that we don't have to deal with anymore, like materials, like the mat grind, right? locational things, like Dustlight Shards, right? It's just all Glimmer now. It's been streamlined in such a way. Excuse me. It's inherently just a different game. Like, Outbreak Perfected has infinite ammo, as every other primary ammo weapon does, which makes Wishender an absolute god-tier weapon in GMs, right? One of the best anti-barrier weapons in the game. It's an enigma with how much damage it actually puts out. Meanwhile, in D1, if I were to get Outbreak Prime, I'm still limited by primary ammo as far as I'm aware. After Beyond Light. Beyond Light was a breakaway point. I stopped at about... I did, like, the first season of Beyond Light, and I quit. I stopped. So I've been in and out of Destiny for a few years. But, like, just... the game's just not capturing my attention like it needs to. I got the new solar rocket pistol, so that's kind of cool. Didn't hear about that yet. Yeah, there's a Twitter thing earlier about them laying off, I think it's like 220 employees, and I'm just like, this Bungie really keeps taking L's, even if that's not their thing, right? Even if that's not their, how do I word it? Even if it's not their intent, like, if it's still happening. Even if it's a Sony decision, and it just reflects poorly on the game. Am I going to vilify people for playing D2? No. It's not necessarily fair. I am going to criticize... I criticize everyone, to be fair. It's not just a Bungie thing. If a company has to lay off, that is a management issue. That is not an employee issue. That is not a work ethic issue. That is not quiet quitting. That is a management issue. Yeah, like I can't support any company that really does it, to be fair. Try to do Witch Queen, but just couldn't get to it. Destiny is so much better with friends, but that can be said about any game. I could play Resident Evil 5 right now with somebody, or Halo Reach, right, with 4-player co-op and have a blast, right? I could play anything multiplayer and it'd be infinitely better. That's not necessarily fair. He really is just one of the best characters in this game. Among you? Among us? Gaius is red. He is the red among us, right? He's got the little mask too. Yes, dude. Someone draw Gaius as an Among Us, please. That's the one. That's a submission. None Among Us has the... Got it. Thanks, I hate it. I'm sorry. I've ruined this. I've ruined Praetorium for somebody. I am simultaneously sorry and not sorry. But yes, like, I don't know. I have to also check certain things, right? Because, like, there are people that will absolutely, like, try to just cancel companies for things. Or people that will try to, like, you know, oh, this issue, when it's not necessarily a big issue. Laying off people is a pretty big issue. At least to me. That's one of those I look at and I go, yeah, that's a problem. That means something they did was just unsustainable. Gaius is in fact sus. Yeah, I love it. This is an amazing headcanon. I mean, we're like destroying his health bar, to be fair. Feels like I'm hitting buttons, but 14's not actually like accepting the input. Maybe it's my mouse. Maybe my buttons are going. Better with friends. Try to play the campaigns by myself. No, yeah. But even then, like you get into some of the recent stuff. Witch Queen. You get into Final Shape, Lightfall. The campaigns make it harder if you're not in a group. Like they actually make themselves harder because it scales up depending on players, which I get from a difficulty standpoint. But it's just. It always weirded me out because it's like it feels like you're being punished for playing with others. Hey, Sean, how's it going? I'm not a huge FPS player, so there's that. I mean, it's why when somebody talks to me about an RTS, like I can't do RTSs. Like I'm bad at them. I'm notoriously bad at RTS games, which hasn't stopped me wanting to try to learn certain things like Warlords Battlecry 3 or Battle for Middle-earth, right? Command and Conquer, my brain just doesn't get it. StarCraft, right? I've never played. I've played, I think, bits of StarCraft 1, but I've never actually played StarCraft 1, right? So, yeah, there's that. But that doesn't mean that I necessarily write off RTSs as a bad game. No, RTSs are great games. I think that they have their purpose. I think that they're great in what they do. And especially good RTSs are going to be good RTSs. So that's something to also take into consideration. I pop my mitt. Nice. Yeah, Bravers should take care of that. Yeah, easy. I can't even tell if that was me or that was my teammate. That was my teammate. Red Alert 2, man. Exactly. Like, RTSs may not be my thing. I might not be good at RTSs, but somebody out there really likes RTSs and can play circles around other people. I think grand, like, what is it? Grand strategy games like, oh, what's the example? Grand strategy games like Civilization, right? I see the merit in them. I'm just awful at them. I've never really had the ability to delve into them. I've tried playing one game of Civ 5, and after a while, I'm just like, I had a good start, and then I just got steamrolled because I'm just kind of dirtling, and I'm also just trying to maintain like neutrality. So, I mean, there is that. A lot. Not really off a lot of people, specifically new hires, due to lack of parts and customer orders. So much fun, yeah. But that's the thing, right? Lack of customer orders and lack of parts, right? I would argue this is a management issue. If there's a lack of orders, what are we doing for marketing? What are we doing to drum up business, right? As a, say, ground level employee, as a, you know, forward-facing customer service employee, you're not necessarily concerned with marketing, right? Like, that's not your thing. Layoffs are a managerial issue. Terrible at them? No, I totally get it. They take a 5% pay cut and save employee jobs, and ultimately, I don't know. Like, I have such a black and white perspective when it comes to any sort of executive or upper management. Like, I expect the world from them, if that makes sense. But that's also because in my work experience, in what jobs I've held, generally I'm that guy that people know they can punish if, say, I do something wrong, and then I get reprimanded. But meanwhile, you can have somebody that doesn't show up to their job for 6 months, and they're just fine. Like, the company can't fire them because they haven't physically been in, because I guess that's their policy. And it's just like, why am I here then? like what? Why? And it's a consistent trend just across the workforce in the U.S. where people will know that they are too important for a job to fire them, and thus they just don't do anything. And I mean, like, that's fine to a degree, except when you start dragging your entire workplace down with you and it's not addressed. That's the problem. Revolution was one of my favorite games. Civ is great. Like, it looks great. I know it's got a great following behind it. I've never gotten into it. Jesus Christ, 35 in queue. 35 DPSs in queue. See, it's not a server issue either. Because even though I'm on Diabolos, this is pulling from all of Crystals. This is pulling from, like, Balmung. This is pulling from some of the other servers. There's just so many DPSs. I can feel that armor material. I think my armor is coated in a similar fabric. Like, I can feel that. It's great. Oh, which pet's that? I don't know what that one's from. I think I have it. Minions. Oh, there's a new minion I got, and I keep trying to find it, but I can never find it. Like a little chibi with a scythe. Trying to find her, but I can never actually find her. I mean, I did get the raid pet. They want to set the daily numbers, but running low on orders, and we want to point. I like if there's not enough work. That is, if there's not enough work, and they still want to hit metrics, they have to provide you with the work. That's all there is to it. If they want the numbers, they have to get the numbers. Yeah, it's Edda. There we go. Q's DPS. I remember when I played Swotori, Q's DPS, you go on a quick match, it takes forever. Q is a tank heal instant. Exactly. I mean, it's why I've played both healer and tank at this point. Like, my white mages, I was able to blitz white mage from like 60 to 100 after Dawn Trail's launch. Like, I went ham into white mage. Paladin's already 100, and these all obviously started at 90, right? Paladin got to 100, Warrior got to 100, Gunbreaker got to 100. Dark Knight I haven't touched. I have to actually relearn Dark Knight. White Mage, Skull, all of these have been boosted from 60 and 70 up to where they're currently sitting at 81. There's a reason I have hardly touched my DPS. It's not that I don't want to play tank. It's that I'm trying to level other things so I can get the funny, what do you call it? So I can get the funny level 100 mount. But the queues are just so long. It kind of weirds me out too, because tank it's not a hard role to play. Like, you have buttons that just say your enemy does less damage. Ate it up. Rough. Oh my god. Ugh. Excuse me. I'm more tired than I thought I was. It's really weird seeing people in the hub world, because I didn't see any of this in Dawn Trail, because I got there after everybody was getting ready for, you know, next expansion. And one craft, one gatherer. Yeah. Like, I think that's my pain point. Like, as DPS, I just can't play the game. And so therefore, I personally can't get the practice that I want to be as good as DPS. The way I fix that, I guess, fix quote unquote, is like, you know, have a static party or that, right? Something like that. Or have other creators that I end up playing with. But even then, there's still no guarantee that they're not going to want to play DPS themselves. I really am only playing DPS because I'm out of tanks that I want to level currently. I still have to relearn Dark Knight. Like, I could, even then, I know that I can fast track Dark Knight, because as soon as I queue as Dark Knight, I'm getting instant queues. I'm getting 5-minute queues. It is back to back to back to back to back. Similar with White Mage, right? Any tank going into Dawn Trail, any tank or healer, you're going to have pretty quick queues and you're going to soar. So I haven't touched Bard, because, like, there's so much I have to level through at that. There's so much. I'm just debating on skipping Bard to 90. And because in most games require you to pay at least some attention to what you're doing. Also, the role that gets the most blame for when things go wrong. It's so funny because it's the opposite, at least as far as I've played. Like, you have buttons that literally say your enemy does less damage. Like, opponent does less damage. Like Paladin, for instance, right? I have a big Wombo combo at 100. I got my big Confiteor combo. Goes into my, what is it, Blade of Honor, which goes into my OGCD, which goes into my 3-hit, I think it's like Supplication or whatever, combo. Like, I have damage potential on board. I have tank potential. I have sustain. I have every single tool that I need to solo, and we're talking about this earlier, to solo content synced in Endwalker. I have soloed bosses from 70%. I shouldn't have to do it. It should never ever be in I should never be in a situation where that's a thing. But I can do it. I know I can do it. And they're what's available for free trial, and they're about DPS unless a few of us join, they're waiting to queue. It's unfortunate. I don't know, like, how do you really address this problem I think 2 DPSs at once is just rough. What do they do next time? Do they release a new tank and a new healer? Or is it going to be a tank? Is 8.0 going to be a tank and a DPS? Or is it going to be a DPS and a healer? Like, 2 DPSs, I think just... There's always been DPS queue issues, don't get me wrong. You know, people want to do damage. People want to do thing. They want to play game. I think that right now, though, it's... Especially with how prominent Viper and Picto are, there's a lot of people that are going for DPS. And even then, like, even if I can get in, I'm not necessarily able to get the practice in that I want to get in for the DPS, which, you know, to me is a turnoff because I like learning things. I like understanding how my kit works. I like having practice so I can actually play with my kit, but that's not necessarily viable in a fast track method. DPS stands and bosses AoE attack. What the fuck? Why aren't you doing your job? You know, yeah. I mean, you do run into that. I'm not gonna say you don't. Like, it's like you go into Stone Vigil hard, right? And the Shadow Dragon one, the giant buff dragon. You can't keep his aggro. He just kind of does what he wants. As a tank, you can provoke him. You can increase your enmity all you want. There is nothing you can do to hold his aggro. And as it turns out, as a DPS, you just have to move. You have to play the game. I think tanking is way easier than DPS, personally. That's a hot take for me. I think tanking is way easier. Like, it actually is harder for me to go as a DPS into content. At least me specifically. Ooh, we're down to 16 in queue. That's spicy. So we can probably hit... Yeah, we'll probably hit 94 today. 95 is a... No, we're not hitting 95. There's no way. Yeah, no, tanking's way easier. Free button reduces buttons that reduce damage. I have AoEs. I have ranged implements. Does Monk have their ranged attack yet? I don't think they do. Or did they get it with Dawn Trail? Did they finally get a ranged attack? It's one of those things you sit there and you look at and you're just like, I don't know. I don't know, Captain. I think healing is technically the hardest role in the game, but even then, it's like, make sure your party's not dead. If your party dies, res them. Stand out of attacks and do damage. Optimizing US for a lot of the difficulty is tank is, are you holding aggro? Are you alive? Good. Yeah, I mean, you can optimize DPS. I think right now, like, if you're going with, say, a Picto or a Viper, or a Picto and a Reaper, I mean, I think you're in a good spot damage-wise, realistically. If you're wanting to push damage as a tank, I mean, you're playing Dark Knight or Gunbreaker, and Gunbreaker is kind of that weird tank that's kind of like this weird all-encompassing thing because of how its kit works. Attempt 2 EX trials at any point. I will let you know. I need to go post in the Discord server when I want to try and do that again. That you don't get ranged attacks as Monk till post 90 where you use... Yeah, Monk kind of hurts because... But that's the thing, is that if you balance something like that, it's why Viper is technically balanced in a way, because it uses scouting armor, right? Scouting armor has the least amount of resistances in the game, for all intents and purposes. So therefore, if you're using... You know, if you're a Viper and you're having to get greedy with your kit, or you're incentivized to be greedy with your kit, it makes sense that Vipers would go down consistently because they have no defenses, which, if anything, means that it has a higher skill ceiling to do it effectively, to which I've, you know, said with great interest, I would love to see numbers, Vipers getting their burst damage window and going down versus Vipers not doing their burst damage and staying up, and I wonder what's going to be the higher value. And so, like, Monk, for the longest time, it's like, well, we don't really have a ranged attack. We have a gap closer, but not having a ranged attack, like, you have to have some sort of, like, potency or some sort of, like, power increase to compensate for that. Oh, holding up. Oh, you know, just hanging, just waiting for Qs to pop. A lot of DPSs. Why I usually play tank. As scouting gear, you can still off-tank and unsynced. Look, well, that's unsynced, though. I'm talking synced content. Burst with Bloodlust can full heal. I'm glad I actually... So they removed Gouge, right? Or is it Gouge? Whatever it is. They removed their DOT, which is interesting. And I wonder how that's going to affect the class. And I'm glad that's why I'm actually kind of glad I didn't learn Viper when I wanted to. Because I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I would have to relearn the class completely at this point. What are we doing? Matoya's Relics. Wow. Okay. Like Shadowbringers. I think wish you good luck. No, you're good. You're all good. Just talking about DPSs, talking about, you know, reworks and stuff. Work the combo rotation, exactly. So I would have had to relearn the combo anyways, right? So I'm kind of, you know, glad I didn't actually go ham into Viper with everyone else. Sure, I missed, you know, Gouge. I missed, you know, Gouge meta. It's no longer a debuff, it's a buff, yeah. Or does it have like the same, end up with like the same potency? So instead of you applying, you know, Gouge to target, like, yeah, it's a self-stim, right? I always get like mad RuneScape vibes from this. Come on, get back here. I do like that Samurai's blue hit is unlocked now. I think it's a great change of pace, especially in content like this. Because Endwalker, what was it? You got 2 charges, but in this you had 1 charge of it. I think it makes going through content a little easier, legacy content. Overall damage, actually. Really, it improves damage. That's wild to consider. Right. What's that? Oh, you can backlog those. That's interesting. Not the son of Ziggy. Oh no. Two, three. Wow, we kind of melted son of Ziggy. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I just have to look at other samurai players and I have to wonder, like, do they know how the class works? Like, it has plenty of damage. Does it have the most damage on board? No. I think conclusively results have shown that samurai is not top damage by any means. But, like, goddamn. Like, well, RuneScape, that's the amount. I regularly play RuneScape. Well, used to. I was actually debating on breaking it out tonight. I got some stuff that I wanted to do. But I wanted to use this as a test between Twitch and YouTube to see where people were at and if I should just stick to Twitch or if I should move over to YouTube. Which I can't dual stream, not right now. Not with what I have access to. I don't have the internet to support that. Well, yes, absolutely. Being able to simultaneously stream, that is something that's on my to-do list. I don't have the internet for that, though. Come on. There we go. Actually a huge buff. I mean, it seems like some things got buffed. Like Reaper got buffed. Like we were talking, Reaper got a big buff. Black Mage, I think, got slightly nerfed, but in other ways it got a buff. That one was a little bit weird to me. Streaming later tonight. Yeah, I was probably gonna go over to Twitch. I wanted to see how this went, and then I wanted to compare and contrast that. I was probably gonna do something over on Twitch later. Because of how Twitch and YouTube naming works, like this is one of those that I looked at and I'm like, this makes a little bit more sense to do it this way, to have a single thing that I do. Last in the top each tries this morning. Really? We're not seeing, well, I guess Viper might be seen as too risky right now because of how greedy the class has to be. Really, no Reaper? Samurai. Really? I mean, fair, I guess. I'd like to watch regularly. My Twitch never notifies me even when I make sure all notifications, so I'll get to YouTube as the best for streaming. Yeah, like YouTube is kind of a mixed bag for me in streaming. Like, that's why I want to do the compare and contrast, right? Eventually, I would like to have internet in a way, or go to a place with internet where I'm able to, you know, simultaneously stream. That way it's the best of both worlds. However, I have to work with current restrictions, which prevent me from doing that. Pop on, so I have to pop in and watch. Right, yeah, no, YouTube does have a better notification system, in my opinion. Plus, since I'm already doing this to YouTube, I'm already backlogging it. Like, this afterwards is just gonna go live. Like, it's just gonna go live as just a video. So if you miss it, it's like, well, I don't have to go to Twitch. I don't have to dig through the VODs. And oh, did Kip actually was he able to save this VOD? Was he not able to save this VOD, right? You know, it's just things like that. Overall, Samurai's top perform DPS for melee. If that is true, that blows my mind, actually. Because that seems so wild from everything that I've heard. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's putting out damage, it's putting in numbers. I don't know where that stands on, say, a parse, but I'm also, one, running it suboptimally. Two, parsing is technically not TOS. You can't use the funny numbers site technically, because that is against TOS. But even then, using actual game mechanics, right? Using actual, like, oh, okay, damage we're seeing. Somebody could reasonably math that out. Over the past 24 hours. I mean, that would make sense. Maybe they went with a safe option. Like as the Viper's not really a safe option, right? Because of how deep you have to go. Star Wars New Hope 5. A little bit. On YouTube, though, copyright is even more. No, I will not be able to. As of right now, those are sticking on Twitch. Like, I can't justify that. I wanted to do full React streams on, like, you know, just to, like, post them, but nah. Like, I don't want to deal with copyright in that manner. I think they'd probably not perform as well as actual focused reactions too. Kind of the way folks tell DPS in a fight. Yeah, that's fair. So that was like, if your Reaper is, you know, third in a party, but your Samurai is second. I mean, there's clearly, you know, there's clearly numbers happening. There's clearly damage happening. But even then, so that's the other thing, right? I also don't want to just do, and for a while I've said this, I also don't want to just do reactions. Like, I don't want to just do React content. Because while I get to see so many cool people, like, it kind of gets boring for me. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'll still continue to do it. I don't hate it. It's just like, I'd like to do other things and be known for other things than just be, oh yeah, you're the guy that reacts to people, or oh yeah, you're the guy that does this. But even in saying that, from a objective metric standpoint, that just isn't the case. People want to see Kip react to the funny and the things. Heavy hitter spinner is actually a range attack. You can use in backing ways, mandatory part of rotation for damage. Huh. So that might actually fuck some shit up then. Like, as a... I mean, I can also slide cast as a Samurai too. So I have a little bit of, like, protection from certain hits and stuff. It's such a cool dungeon. One day I'll get the pet. Oh, absolutely, variety. But I would also argue it's harder to be a variety streamer or a variety content creator because you effectively lack a focus, which is fine. It's just understanding that part about what you do. Like, you lack like, if I was to become a League of Legends streamer tomorrow, right? If I was to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, plat Yumi, right? I'm gonna be a Yumi main. I'm gonna go plat with it. Like, you know me as, oh yeah, you're the guy that does Yumi. And let's go to off-global follow-ups. So is it seems like so is it interfacing that's the issue? Back on you. Sorry, I'm having to catch my chat where I can. I don't have the actual window open up like Twitch. Because, yeah, OBS has been interesting today. Plus, you also have a, 15-second cooldown, 10% mitigation as Samurai. Like, I'm like, not using it to its full effect, but it absolutely exists. I'm interested to see where Viper's going to end up, especially after the rework. Like, if it's doing damage, but if you're running into either input issues or if the rotation is too fragile, that can absolutely play a part into it. Because not only do you want to be top damage, but you also, like, you say you can be top damage, right? But you have to go through a 3-minute opener. Say, like, Old Summoner, right? Let's say Old Summoner hypothetically came back, right? But it was the highest damage in the game. Highest DPS in the game. But you have to do a full 3-minute rotation to do it, with many breakpoints. So you start running the Black Mage issue where if you can't recover, if you don't know your lines of play, you're just fucked. Due to reaction to that electrician, which I binge watched all the reaction to him, by the way. That said, I really like Persona. Well, I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Like, and that's why I say, like, I'm careful with what I say. It's not that I hate reactions, right? I love it. I love being able to react to people like the Fat Electrician, Unsubscribe Podcast, being able to look at really cool people like Russian Badger, Cottontail VA, right? In which, to be like, I've gone out to Cottontail VA stream, I've gone out to a Cinder stream, and I've sent a raid over, and it just felt really, like, cool to be part of, like, some sort of community. It was just, like, it was really cool. Like, just like, hey, thank you for acknowledging that, you know, I exist. I feel guilty, because I feel guilty for raiding people. It feels like I'm trying to, like raid them for, like, clout, but that's not my intent. It's just like, hey, support this person because they're cool. But I always feel weird about it, because the internet's a weird place. Anyways, but yeah, like, reactions are great, and I like doing what I do. It's trying to do other things as well, because I physically can only do about 15 to 20 reactions in a week before I'm just dead. Like low-key, I am exhausted after about 15 to 20. Like, I don't want to touch reactions for the rest of the week when I do it. But that's like, I'm not a factory. I can only do so much, like, physical work. Unfortunately, I'm not a factory. I actually lament my inability to be able to just work like that. I'm a workaholic, but I'm subject to human constraints, which is a problem. Shortened its opener. Oh, so the opener still even is shortened now too. I mean, that's gotta help. Yeah, Viper's new first place DPS. Yeah, that sounds right. Babysit us? Well, it's not necessarily babysitting. It's like just sending them over, right? But see, here's the thing. When I look at someone like Cinder, Cottontail VA, Bow the Whale, right? Project Melody, you know, Zentreya, 3,000 plus people, right? 3,000 plus people that are there. And I always feel bad when, like, sending a raid over, not because I don't like them. I adore what they do. I think they're cool. I think they're great content creators, and I think they're great streamers. It's that it just feels weird to, like, have, like, say 10 to 30 people, depending on what I'm doing, and just, like, you know, introducing it into such an environment. It feels like it isn't fair to, one, the audience that watches me, and two, it feels like it's just not fair to the people that watch them. But I also could have a warped perspective on it. It's entirely possible. I mean, like, if Samurai's putting out numbers, I think people just don't know that their stickers exist. Like, I think they try to camp their Meikyo Shisui as much as possible, but it charges in like 55 seconds, and you have 2 stacks. Maybe that's what it is. Understand. Oh, no, you're good. Very instinctual, never searched up, learned it. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is very, like, press button. Like, it effectively babysits you through it from what I've seen, because it actually makes the buttons go. You just have to know which one to actually go for. Constrained by these meat socks. Dude, I could put in so much work, it's not even funny. Become just the Workatron 5000. It's just a New Vegas Securitron with Kip's face. Let's see if I actually can do this fight this time, because there's one mechanic that I always fuck up on. See, I already have almost my 2 stacks almost back up. I think it's people just camping sticker button. Like, we're dishing out good damage. Yeah, it's this one. I always fuck this up. Yeah, because when you start losing distance, like, you don't ever get it back. I don't understand what's going on. How? What do you mean? Like, I'm strafing, so I'm holding forward and strafing left and right, and I'm losing distance. Like, are you not supposed to do that? Like, I'm consistently dying to this mechanic because I apparently don't understand how it works. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but I'm on PC, right? I'm holding W, and I'm strafing, and I'm going backwards. That one's weird to me. I'm not a streamer. Someone I enjoy watching. Right. I mean, it's. I think I'm also just too preoccupied with the VTuber mentality. Just the Twitter user mentality of like, oh, well, you're just trying to get clout off them when that's not the case at all. I try very hard every single day to just not be VTuber status because it's not a healthy mentality. It's not in any way, shape, or form enjoyable, really, in my opinion. But even then, as hard as you try, it's like there are people that will just continue. Like the people that come out, right? People that have in the past been like, "Oh, well, you're just stealing valor," and it's like, "Excuse you?" I think that's also one of my not selling points, because if somebody comes up to me with an allegation like that, I tell them effectively to put their money where their mouth is. Like, they better come with receipts. Like, criticism's different, right? Like, hey, you know, you paused too much in this video, or, you know, I think you didn't really have much to add. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, that's criticism, right? When we start getting into, like, accusations, I'm very, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna fucking go the distance. But I'm very confrontational like that, and not a lot of people are. Like, I, in that aspect, am a little bit of an oddity because I'm willing to kind of crack back on that. Like, I'm willing to fight that. And there is an aspect of it where, yes, don't feed the internet trolls. You, like, 100%. If I get somebody that tries to, you know, accuse me of something or try to insert a narrative saying, oh, well, you're just this, and it's like, you want to fucking bring a source on that? Get out of here. Get me out. Get me out! Bold claim got citations, and that's how I do it. And honestly, like, every single time, especially when people, like, I guess understand that I'm annoyed at them, they back off. Which, to me, is just, it's pitiful. It's weak. It's like, imagine, right? Imagine if it was another VTuber, right? And I see these tweets all the time, because I still have a Twitter presence, right, in some capacity. Imagine if I were to hop on Twitter. How many VTubers do you see about just getting hate raids or hate comments or, you know, oh, well, this person's just super mean, right? And it's actually someone being problematic, right? Like, you see these, it happens. And these people just, they don't, it's weird because, like, it's not that they don't know how to respond, is that when somebody does crack back, it suddenly is not worth their time, and therefore there's no accountability for it, right? Like, so the whole Russian Badger tweet thing, that incident that I cited, I actually censored the author's name, but I kind of want to just, like, not and just post, like, this is a person who engaged in misinformation. But then I wonder if I'm the dick at that point, right? Like, if a person knowingly goes off of misinformation, can't cite their source, and realizes they're in the wrong after making some really stupid allegations, and like, oh, well, this is my worldview now, like, that's kind of sad. But then again, is it necessarily right to hold people accountable for that? And, you know, how far does the protection of people are allowed to make mistakes extend? That's another thing as well. There's a situation I went over in the past. There was this VTuber that was, I don't know if they were a VTuber. It was a user. They're like LGBTQIA plus ally, and they shared a tweet, a Photoshop tweet, confirmed, or at least it was an altered tweet. Photoshop, I don't know, but it was it was a not true tweet. It was actually like a fake tweet about the Russian Badger, quote unquote, saying something that was like transphobic. And I couldn't find it. My mod team couldn't find it. We found it on a Facebook page that wasn't affiliated with the Russian Badger. So it was a doctored image. And I called that shit out on Twitter. It's like, no, like, you have a fucking source on this? Because no, this isn't right. That's not fair. And to which, of course, they redact the tweet and they try to be friendly. And it's like, no, don't reach out to me. You chose to engage in misinformation, to which they block me, and I'm the asshole now. Even though I censored the image, even though I censored their name out from it. And so I guess, how do you handle that, right? Like, do you disseminate the image and let others make their, like, if I were to post it on Twitter now, right? Say I were to tweet, hey, this is why this is problematic. This person chose to engage in misinformation. I'm the asshole, right? I think it comes across as I'm being the asshole, especially so long after the situation. But I think that it's important to hold people like that accountable, especially when you try calling them out, they try being buddy-buddy with you, like DMing you, and you're just like, no, like, get out of my DMs. You chose to do this, but they seemingly just can't accept accountability unto themselves. So then it becomes this weird, you're the asshole regardless of what you do. You're an asshole for pointing it out. You're an asshole for trying to hold them accountable. The only right play is to just not play, which is wrong. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I think standing up to them too. Like, yeah, I've told the story a few times just because it still gets my goat. And like, I hid their name on Twitter. I hid their handle because I didn't want people to go and harass them, right? And I still don't. It's one of those things that, like, I think that's really stupid that you don't take accountability despite saying something like that. Like, I'm nice, not because I want people to allow me to react to their stuff, but because I genuinely want to be nice, right? Do I expect Brandon Herrera, Fat Electrician, anyone to ever reach out to me? No. That's not fair to expect. That's not reasonable. It's not rational. I react to people like that because I think what they're doing is cool and I support their content. And if something happens where I can't support something, I just end up redacting it. Or I just say, hey, I'm taking these reactions down. Cool. Easy fix, right? Fact of being wrong. Like, I think it's that people, and I was literally having this conversation the other day I think people are just incapable of being wrong, or at least that was the viewpoint that was passed along. And I think that that's more or less true. Like I come across as a know-it-all, right? I 100% come across as a know-it-all. I can't stand being right, okay? If I call something right, if I say something and it happens, if, you know, I say something on, you know, just whatever information I have in a vacuum ends up being true, I can't stand that. It's not fun to be right all the time. There's nothing to learn. If I'm wrong, guess what? I get to learn. I get frustrated. So in issues like we just saw in that last dungeon, right? Where say I'm strafing and I'm losing ground and then I get killed again, because that happens every single time with that specific mechanic, right? If I don't have feedback, it's frustrating. If I say I'm playing a game like Halo, right? And say I step over a grunt's body, right? And an elite, because catch is on, throws a plasma grenade, hits the grunt behind me, blows up their nitrogen tank and the grenade next to them, and okay, cool. Hey, there's feedback there. I didn't see it. Does it suck? Kinda. But you see how feedback matters? Like, if I'm wrong and I have feedback, that is an opportunity to learn. If I'm wrong and there isn't feedback, it's like, okay, but like, what could have been done differently? Like, in a raid encounter, say if I get a mechanic wrong, it's like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board and think through this, and I need to like actually put my nose to the grindstone and focus. Like, I hate being right. It's not fun. You don't learn anything being right, in my opinion. So people need to like normalize being wrong, and being wrong is fine. That's how you learn. If anything, look at it this way. The more you're wrong, the more you can learn, the smarter you'll be, okay? The better off you'll be, because you'll know what not to do. Easy. Only winning move is not to play. I mean, and that's the thing, is it apparently, like, that's a thing. It's a depressing thought when you think about it. Instincts in the moment is fun. Oh, 100%. Like, this is coming from a perfectionist where I expect everything to, like I do the first time, to just be fine, to be done, print, which is not how that works. But no, that's also just a personal thing. Like, I've had to stop caring in a lot of aspects. I've had to stop caring in a lot of ways because there's just people that you will just never please, and it sucks to really kind of like admit that and come to that conclusion. Does that mean I necessarily say give up? No. It just means that I have to go in knowing that sometimes a person is unwilling to ever see the other side of a conversation. And you could also argue that I'm that way for a reason, right? If we're going to talk about, say, Dr. Disrespect and what Dr. Disrespect did, what he specifically in his statement said he did, right? Okay, I don't have tolerance for that. I'm not willing to hear the other side of that. You could argue at that point that I'm being intolerant. I think that that's not necessarily a stretch, unfortunate as it is, right? Like, the current I'm aware of the current Mr. Beast situation. I want more information to come out on it before I do anything on it, before I do a reaction to it. But I would feel disingenuous to be very upset with Dr. Disrespect and not address that or like look into that situation. I think that would be very inconsistent for me as, you know, just a person, as an image. And that is something that I intend to actually look at probably when a Willie Mac Show episode comes out. It's been something that, yes, has crossed my desk. I'm aware of it. I don't know the full extent of it. I'm kind of letting the situation, like, I'm kind of letting facts and stuff come out. Because you have to understand, anytime drama happens, there are people that will want to capitalize on it for all it's worth. And there are people that have every incentive in the world to capitalize on it. So I just need to make sure honest journalistic integrity and reporting is done. Need to make sure that everything is good before I really even start diving into it. Blue? Oh god, I'm having to think about this. Then I have orange. All right, cool. We made it. I want to say have a good stream. Winning, get Final Fantasy on sale so I can get all the good. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming out. I do appreciate it. And then we'll do that. We'll bop sticker. Feeding well, I can't argue with it, but sort of humbling. Non-tolerant when it is disgusting, and there is no excuse not wanting to hear as more than reasonable. Yeah, that's one of those things I'm just like, the situation has crossed my desk. I think that it comes across as like, I don't know, I think it comes across as a weird talking point where it's like, oh, well, you're not willing to hear the other side of it. And it's like, if you cross a certain line, I refuse to have any part of that. And I think that's completely fair. I mean, like, imagine, if you will, right? Let's say somebody was trying to defend, I don't know, someone like John Wayne Gacy to you, right? And you're just like, okay, but that's pretty messed up, bro. That is, that's pretty bad. Okay? It's pretty bad. But they're like, oh, no. This was the reason he did this, and this was... No, I don't want to hear that. Consider... Lalafell, please... Dude, what is wrong with you? I'm trying to, like, move, and he just refused to move. I completely forgot how this fight works. It's been a hot minute. Cool. That was a level up. When your teammate keeps trying to move, so you're having to adjust, but they keep over-adjusting and correcting, and you're just like, bro, please. I'm trying not to actually hit you with this attack, bro. 9 squares and purple blocks that don't know how they interact. I haven't even done Savage on that. See my earlier argument about just not having a static to do things with. Let's see, we got trials and leveling, which is actually super great. That's why it's so hot. I'm gonna get up for a second. My model's gonna freak out. I'm gonna reconnect this thing. Okay. There we go. No, I'm good. You shouldn't have done that. I'm leaving. And I think that's fair to set boundaries, right? I think that's fair. I think that people have an issue with boundaries. Hear me out on this, right? Where, like I said earlier, in situations I've been in, people have been like, "Oh yeah, no, this is my boundary. Please respect it." Okay, but the moment you try to set a boundary, regardless if it's arbitrary or not, they freak out on you. And it's like, that's not how you be an adult. And like, anybody can reasonably take away from just that. Just like, if you set a boundary and somebody says, well, you're not allowed to do that, just at that point you have to ask yourself why are you unable to set a boundary. And it could be something like maybe it is an arbitrary boundary, right? Such as if it is 2:45 p.m. on a Sunday, don't talk to me for a half hour, right? Okay, maybe they missed the timing, right? Okay, maybe that's frivolous, right? But if we have a boundary such as like, look, I work nights, please don't blare IMAX levels or THX levels of audio in the morning, right? And somebody goes, well, that's not exactly fair, and they're just watching, say, movies or something like that. Why can't they just watch it on a laptop? Why can't they watch it with headphones in? Right? Like, you see how there's like a difference there? One's frivolous and the other is like, okay, no, that's kind of reasonable, right? Sensationalism was widespread, I guess, dude. Like, regardless of who, and that's the thing I think that pisses me off about the internet. Like, you can be a as good a guy as you can be. Like, you can be the Russian Badger, right? Like, super legit, super cool dude, right? Somebody is still going to willfully follow misinformation and just say absolute scummy things about you with zero accountability, 2, 0 repercussions, 3, with just 0 cognizance. That's not fair. Chat member, Carbon, I can't say, oh, well, how do I choose a PG topic? Carbon is an awful carpenter. Kip, you got a source on that? Kip, you know I'm not a carpenter. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, if I'm gonna make like an allegation on it, or, oh, well, I have work that Carbon did, and it's like, who are you? Like, literally though, who are you? Thank you for letting me use you for a second. But like, I hope that like makes sense from a logical perspective, where it's like, if you're gonna talk shit, bring receipts. I talk smack on Wizards of the Coast consistently. You know why? Because they factually hired the Pinkertons to take literal trading cards back from somebody that I think it was them and an LGS. I think both of them had a dual fault in that. I think they released it to the LGS and the LGS released it early. But like, why are you taking it out on this poor dude? It's your mistake. Dude. But you see how I bring a receipt to that and I just laugh at it? Have more people become more like 9-year-olds in nature. Please be. I think we've just lost a lot of social cognizance. I was having a conversation yesterday about social acceptability, and in a vacuum, the conversation came down to like how people overshare a lot. Like, so for example, right? For example, if at random somebody was like, hi, somebody was like, you know, hey, cool, how you doing? What's your name? Oh, hi, I'm Kip, right? Do I necessarily open up with anything other than that? Not really. Now, if somebody asks, hey, Kip, what are your pronouns? Cool. I mean, I am a he, him. I'm a dude. That's what I am, how I identify, right? But like on further information, that's fine. But that also works for, you know, heteronormative situations. That works for your average, for other situations as well, right? Where you have your say you have a neighbor named Mike, right? And you're like, hey, Mike, how are you today? Or, hey, Mike, how you doing? Oh, you know, pretty well. Just kind of chilling, right? Does Mike necessarily respond to you saying, well, you know, my not safe for work life is in shambles. My wife is, you know, currently divorcing me. Whoa, Mike, let me at least get a beer in first. Like, you see how there's a difference there? And I think that it gets pinned a lot on the LGBTQIA plus community and individuals that are not in heteronormative relationships, or individuals that aren't quote unquote normal, right, by societal standards, right? I think a lot of it gets pinned on them, but there are quote unquote normal individuals that do it too, right? If I ask how you're doing, once again, ask Mike how he's doing, and Mike starts talking to me about how his nether regions itch, I'm gonna be like, Mike, are you serious right now? Why are you telling me this? So then I have to ask the question, why? Why have we gotten to a point where this is seen as acceptable, or this is seen as okay, right? And the conclusion that I draw is that, one, we're arguably as a society, people just generally kind of divided. Like, we don't really have people to talk to. There's a lot of people that crave social contact, but I don't have the avenues for it. Sensationalism is also a thing where, you know, you see other people do it, or you assume other people do certain things, so that could lead to certain trains of thought. Like, there's a number of things that could theoretically go into this. But the thing to take away from that, and we're gonna use the Mike example, right? Mike talking to me about is not safe for work life, right? Like, Mike, this is not appropriate, and that should always ever be enough, right? Hey, I'm setting that limit there. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about your divorce, okay? I'm here just because I wanted to say hi. But some people, and I've seen this with so many different people, they take that as an attack and that you're just inherently against them. You don't have any sort of, like, autonomy with them. Like, it's just like they just can't comprehend And it's like, I have my own issues to deal with. The text I answered earlier, right? The text that I did answer earlier was a text being like, hi, Kip, how are you? By the way, I'm moving this weekend. I was wondering if you could help. And I'm just like, honestly, and it's not that I'm being mean about it. It's like, look, I haven't heard from you in a hot minute. I understand that life is stressful. I'm going through some shit right now. I really don't want to do this right now. Like, I can't do that. I understand how this is coming across. And that's fine. Likewise, if I reached out to this person and this person was busy or otherwise engaged, I respect that, right? I think we can all agree on that. So I think the antidote to a lot of current issues that we're experiencing is people being able to understand conversation. I say this as a neurospicy individual that quite literally doesn't understand how people work. Like, here's the thing, right? I have no idea why people watch me, right? I have absolutely no idea. The amount of kind comments I get every single day, it's so good, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. My brain does not understand what I have done or why I deserve any sort of support, okay? Like, it just doesn't compute. It just doesn't make sense. And that's just because, you know, I don't understand some fundamental things. But I run with it, and I'm just like, okay, well, they have their reasons. I trust that they have their reasons, and I trust that they're doing what's right for, one, their time, and two, their ability. Like, I trust that you guys are doing the right thing. And it's also why, like, it's why I hate, in certain aspects, advertising myself. Because if I advertise myself, or I don't want to, like, push engagement in the wrong direction. And, like, that's the thing as well, like Twitch. Advertisements are out of control on Twitch. Like, we know this. Everyone knows this, right? Like, advertisements are in a rough spot over on Twitch. And, you know, I know a lot of other streamers have just been like, oh, we'll just use your Twitch Prime sub. I can't condone that. I can't do that. If they do it, like, that's on them. That's fine. Like, that is their choice. That is how they want to run their channel. That's fine. I can't do it, though. Because I get what it's like to not have money. I get what it's like to want to enjoy something. But it's like, well, I have to think about bills, and I got to think about gas, and I got to think about food, right? Like, so things like that, yeah, those are reasons why I don't just say, oh, well, just buy a sub. Because I don't think that's fair. I think that's pretty disingenuous if I were to do that. Once again, other people, not my concern. I'm talking about strictly me and how I choose to operate things. Sorry, I was having to shift myself. Hi, Virtual Souls, how's it going? We're boss. They're boss. I cannot look at chat right now. Give me a second to catch up on chat once I finish this. Look, I just physically can't actually look away from this fight that far. We need to get them out of these chains. He's at 25%, so we're almost at the end of this. I was actually just not expecting such a quick Q pop, I'm being completely honest. Ow. Pulling back to full. I do like the dragon heads as a mechanic. I think it's actually visually pretty cool. I got hit by that. Oof. There we go. Easy. Okay, I can catch up with chat now. I had to actually, like, hard focus for a second. Gotta hear him out. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, there's certain things that I feel it's okay to have that limitation on, like those limits and boundaries. Boundaries are kind of like soft, like, hey, don't talk to me in the morning, right? That's kind of a boundary. Limit is like, do not talk to me before 2 p.m. Right? That kind of thing. Like I work nights, I go to bed at 4 a.m. That kind of thing. That's fair. Yeah, tell when a group is full of carriers like 2 healers that never heal the DPS once the entire fight and they spend it. Yeah. Yeah. Gets a little rough. 18-minute queue time for leveling. Jesus. Coworker, not your therapist. Exactly, though. Meowdy. Yeah. You passed M3s. That's nice. Nice. Got past that savage. Fuck yeah. No step with neurotypical. I mean, like, I think that there's... So, like, if you're neurotypical, I think that that's, like, perfectly fine. Like, I think a lot of people, especially on social media nowadays, you know, obviously celebrate neurodivergency, neurospiciness, right? I'm neurospicy. Yeah, you know, probably a good idea not to, like, you know, be 1960 status and just throw a bunch of people in a building, right? Probably not bueno, right? Probably a reason why their brains work the way they do. Like, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, and you know what? If you're neurotypical, if you're quote-unquote normal, if you don't have ADHD, OCD, autism spectrum, etc., right? Cool. Man, I'm so glad that your brain functions in a way that actually, like, jives with you. Like just it vibes with you. Totally awesome. Like, I think that people underrate that. It's kind of like how I heard the sentiment about, like, what's the point of getting married at this point as a, like, heteronormative couple, right? Man and woman, right? Like, what's the advantages? Like, what's the incentive for that? Not a whole lot, from what I understand, at least not from a monetary perspective. Maybe a tax break, but I don't know if it's big enough to actually matter. So, one of those things that I look at and it's just like, Like, everyone is valid, regardless of if you're neurodivergent, neurotypical, neurospicy, whatever. I like pirate software, like what he said in regards to some sort of subject. I can't remember what specifically, but he's just like, yeah, everyone hit the character creator, and we all just spawned in different places on the globe, right? Like, yeah, you hit the character creator, you didn't necessarily get to control if you're neurospicy or neurotypical, right? Like, you didn't have any control over that, realistically. So, I mean, why should that matter? And if anything, I've been incredibly outspoken when I've had people that'll come up to me and they're just like, oh, well, I'm saying this off-the-wall stuff because I'm autistic, you understand, right? And I'm like, no. You're talking to someone who is neurospicy, okay? That's why you have coping strategies. This is why you have coping mechanisms, okay? Try again. Try a different answer. And I push back on that sort of rhetoric because it's not a free pass, my guys. Like, I'm lucky because I'm high functioning, right? I'm high function. I can mask it pretty well. You cannot say, how do I word this? If you were gonna come out to my chat, if you're gonna come out and just say hi to me or whatever, right? And you're going to just say something super off the wall, not like could be misconstrued kind of thing. Say I'm at an anime panel, right? Say I'm at, you know, TwitchCon, anime convention, whatever, and like, hey, you want to go to the 18 plus panel? You know, thanks for the invitation. I'm good though. Like that's a little different, right? What I'm talking about is like, we're mid conversation, we're talking, right? And you bring up some like weird off the wall fact about like, I don't know. Oh, well, did you know, like, we're talking about, say, Final Fantasy, and then the subject shifts to like, oh, well, did you know that this serial unaliver did this? And it's like, how did that have any bearing on the conversation? I get tangential popcorn thoughts. What was the jump here, though? Or like, say somebody tries to impose a boundary limitation on me, such as, oh, well, Kip, you do firearms content, so therefore you have to have this ideology. Excuse you? What? No? What are you talking about? What correlation and causation are we even talking about here? I love pirate software. No, he's good. Yeah, everyone hits random with the character generator, 100%. A character creation, spam the random button a few dozen times, spam. Exactly. Yeah, there's no control over that. You know, you can control being just an awful person. Being somebody that will use neurodivergency as a crutch to not hold yourself accountable for actions. I get it. There's certain things that you can't do, right? There's certain limitations, right? Like, what I'm talking about is, because there was an issue we had in the Discord server. Somebody was just spamming some really off-the-wall stuff, and I told them to knock it off. And their response to me, their defense was that, oh, well, I'm neurodivergent. I'm autistic. And it's like, no. Sure, okay, well, sure, you might be. But that's not an excuse. This is why you have coping mechanisms. And I explain what a coping mechanism is, right? So say if you have something where you're just compelled, like you need to fight something, right? Cool, what are your coping mechanisms? I'm going to go take a bite out of an apple. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go to the gym for 10 minutes, right? Right, you do something to cope with that, to understand you have a limitation or are dealing with something, and you're able to, from a cognizant perspective, from an adult perspective, be able to deal with it. Like, that doesn't fly. Like, that's why you have mechanisms. Oh, well, I just say whatever comes to my brain. Yeah, so do I. No, you like, how many tangents have we gone throughout this entire stream, right? Like, a lot. But, you know, even if I get a tangential thought, even if I get an intrusive or popcorn thought, right? Like, cool. Acknowledge, do I need to act on this or do I not need to act on this? I don't have to act on it because it's a tangential popcorn thought. Cool, I'm out. Doesn't matter. Into hyperfixations, you get this weird anxiety if you don't try to talk about it. It gets worse way longer. Like, I understand that, but you have to have a coping mechanism for that. Like, I have hyperfixations, right? The amount I will cycle through liking Lord of the Rings, liking Naruto, liking Pokemon, liking Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And I'll cycle through. I'm sure you've noticed in React content, I go through kind of cycles on what I am and am not interested in at that time. Some months I really just want to play Resident Evil and Dead Space, and that's all I want to play. Some months I'm like, I don't ever want to touch Resident Evil or Dead Space like ever again, right? But I work with myself on that to try to have some sort of consistency and to really just kind of keep an open mind. Yes, it can be a hyperfixation, and I can want to try to play something with, like my current hyperfixation, right? Wanting to play Diablo, right? I'm learning about Diablo. Apparently Diablo 2 has an Uber's secret map. I want to see that. Like, that sounds cool. That sounds super cool to see. I want to do it. Compare that to might be Marshall Tourette syndrome. I would not, however, because while I have random tangential popcorn thoughts, like say if I were to talk about the Herodric Cube from like Diablo 2, or if I was to start ranting about Naruto, I can still control it. It's like the intrusive or popcorn thought is there, right? So if I wanted to go over the details of, say, Diablo 2 Uber, what I've heard, right, being able to put it in the Herodric Cube, right? Okay, cool, there's that thought. Do I act upon it, yes or no? And then, but I have that cognizance. I still have that ability to have that check and balance, so to speak, to see if I should even discuss it in the first place. A long list of people you can message mid-convo talk about with. I mean, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. But that's the thing, is you search for a coping mechanism. You acknowledge your situation, condition, how you work, right? You have that cognizance, and you find ways to make that work, right? So say if I had like really bad OCD, like we're talking like the really debilitating kind that like you have to check that you've turned your oven off 20 times, right? Because you get out and you're like, what if I left my oven on? Not just like forgetfulness, right? As much as social media portrays that, like, no, like we're talking like, okay, oven's off. You know it's off. You go outside. What if the oven's on? Go inside. Like it's debilitating, right? Or you have these certain things that you do that end up just being debilitating, right? Like, yeah, there are. Having that cognizance and being able to work with others to work through that is incredibly important. And that being said, how do you combat something like that? Well, realistically, if I'm worried about my oven being on, you know, maybe I have some sort of way to check remotely, right? Maybe so I put cameras up, right? Check the oven. Oh, I can check on the oven camera. Oh, oven camera says it's off. Okay. And then you can also play into your OCD, but just like, hey, but then you have to worry about hyperfixation on in certain control aspects and vices, being able to have that much access to cameras and equipment like that. Thoughts become intensive, so it becomes the only thing you can actually focus on, and everything also drifts in and out. You get a word in and vent it. I guess to be fair, then I don't really have that bad of intrusive thoughts or pop. 43 in Q, Jesus Christ, I just looked at that. That's wild. 43 in Q. How did it go up? I thought it was 34 when I started. How did I go up in Q? Weird. It just depends on the severity and fixations. And at the end of the day, I'm not any sort of medical or professional help. If you're having issues in regard to something like that, I absolutely recommend speaking to your counselor, psychiatrist, or psychologist, right? Speak with somebody with actual professional experience instead of these just people on TikTok being like, oh, reason you might be ADHD, you leave your oven on, or you forget you forget if you leave your oven on, you forget your keys. Cool, it's called forgetfulness. That's not indicative of me having any sort of neurodivergency, me having a stroke, anything like that. Grats, people forget stuff. I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached, okay? I idiot check my pockets consistently when I go out. And if I don't do X thing, that's how I describe it. That's what OCD is. It depends on the severity of it. Like, yeah, that like when we're talking debilitating OCD, that's what I'm talking about specifically. I probably have some form of it. I've never been diagnosed with it, so that's why I don't ever say anything about Kip and OCD, right? I don't say anything about it. There's just not a reason to, right? What good does that do other than speculation? And even then, even if I have speculation on it, I can still use some of those coping strategies. I can still research it, so that way, even if I don't know if I have it, I still have the tools to deal with it potentially, or tools that I can apply in my own situation and make my situation better. It's just going through the motions, going through the logic of the situation. Baseless accusation of Kip is pretty cool. I really appreciate that. I don't feel like a cool dude a lot of the time. I feel like I just get angry at stuff. I feel like I tangent way too hard on the internet. But then again, like, I was watching the Doki Bird short where Doki Bird was just like, yeah, no, I was maxing like 30 viewers on Twitch, and I just showed up and played Apex and stuff. And like, no, I kind of resonate with that situation. I'll play Apex, obviously, but I mean, like, I get it. I understand that situation, and it's not necessarily that I'm bad. It's just like I haven't done anything noteworthy enough to really push the algorithm, except for the Badger short. That's still like at 800,000 views for some reason. I don't understand that. With the syndrome that later be classified as on the spectrum, and well, that's the thing. It's consistent. That field is consistently evolving, right? I mean, I hear Ritalin's a hell of a drug. It works for some people, doesn't work for other people. Some people find that Ritalin helps, some people find that Ritalin doesn't help. And that's entirely up to the medical professionals to, one, prescribe, but also track how it's working, right? If you're on Ritalin and you're just a zombie, yeah, tell your medical provider about that. Like, hey, nah, I feel like awful. I feel like The Walking Dead out here. Cool, okay, maybe Ritalin's not the answer. Maybe it's something else, right? But that's why you talk to a medical professional and you don't listen to some Yahoo on TikTok, right? I mean, it's really nowadays. Tourette syndrome is just getting tiring. I think, and I've noticed this with a lot of people I've talked to as well. There's a lot of tiredness and weariness that comes along with a lot of the political correctness, right? And that, I totally understand it. Like, absolutely, and I think that, like, so wanting to respect things, absolutely, 100%. Like, why do I not say certain words, right? Certain, how do I word this? I'm trying to, like, word this in a really, like, TOS way. Why do I not say the N-word, right? It's just a word, right? Well, I mean, I don't want to. Two, why should I care if anyone else says it? If that's you and your buddy's thing, you and your friend's thing, go for it. I have no bearing on that. I just choose not to. I don't view it as this word where you have to be accepted, or, you know, you have to be considered as, I don't care. I don't want to use it. But I have that cognizance, and I impose that limitation. I'm not gonna, like, jump someone's shit for, like, saying it. Unless they mean it in a really bad way. Then that's kind of a, like, I get annoyed, right? Like, we're talking, like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia pilot episode status. Like, ooh. Okay, every day. Dude, so many types. I forget that there's more than just, like, number 2 milk. Or, sorry, 2%. Not. Was literally talking about number 2 pencils last night and how, like, there's number 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was wild. Dizzy and nausea still. Well, and so here's the thing, right? As long as you and the people you're with have an understanding of it and have respect for it, why should anyone care? This goes back to my consistent point. People care way too much about what other people are doing. I don't care if Bob and Tom are over here and they're this cool gay couple, right? Go for it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me, right? Cool. Doesn't matter if my friend is MTF, right? They're trans. They are now female. I don't care. Go for it. I start to draw a line when I start hearing about the process, and it's like, okay, but would your buddy Mike talk to you about, you know, his nether regions itching? Probably not. Probably not in you know, a conversation that people have consented to, right? Like, I just don't care. That is your choice. You do you, Captain. I'm over here doing my thing for you. Make whatever decisions you want. I draw the line at we're talking about some stuff like that. I just don't want to hear it. It's not in my, like, it's not in my wheelhouse. But like, that is also, I think, a minority of the interaction still. There are people that are going to be trans and they're just gonna be like, cool, yeah, the thing, hi, it's me, it's my pronoun. Hey, cool, awesome, good to see you, right? And they don't discuss that. I think that that's the oversharing thing, which is a social cognizance issue. Why should I care? I mean, that too. Like, just, people care way too damn much about what other people are doing. And I've said this in a number of reactions. Like, I don't care about like for the firearms, right? I don't care about bump stocks. You know who gets to hash all that out? Brandon Herrera. People who have been in this industry longer than I have. I'm focused on safety and education, right? Which doesn't seem like I am. I feel like I've ruined that because I reacted to the bump stock video. But I mean, that aside, I'm here for safety and education, right? Cool. Why should I care? Cool, have your bump stock. Have fun, like, burning through ammo. It doesn't affect me any. Others on behalf is weird. Let the group. Yes, and that leads into the current Mr. Beast situation where we had, I guess the trans community itself is commenting and calling out this person, which is that should be expected. Okay, so any group, right? And let's take a look at something we've talked about in the past, right? If we have the conversation about the minority of women that think that all men should be unalived, right? If we have that discussion, I, as a man, really can't say anything opposing it. I can say I think it's dumb. I can say you literally don't know how history works because there's precedent to what you're trying to advocate for, but I come across as a jerk. I come across as, oh, well, you're just the enemy. You're just a man. It is up to women to self-police. It is up to them to say, no. That's not okay. That's wrong. So, if you have some, and that being said, it's like if a VTuber, right? If a VTuber ended up being like, oh, well, let's say a VTuber ended up just being like this uber creep, right? Like stalking people, etc. Like, okay, that's wrong. I don't say, oh, well, they're a VTuber, so it's fine. No, it's wrong. If they're wrong, they're wrong. Like, proverbially, these hands are E for everybody, right? Don't care who you are. Don't do stupid shit like that. I think we can at least all agree on that in a reasonable capacity. Because there's no shortage of internet drama videos that get done on subjects just like that. I was not expecting to do this in leveling today. You know, I'm not a tank, so I don't have to solo Hermes, so I think I come out with the W in the end, though. One, 2, 3. Feels weird to not have to, like, hyper-focus on tanking. Argues against those sort. I can't recall her name, but she's dope. Defends all men. It might be the Dadvocate. And I love her. And you know what? I love her stuff. I think the Dadvocate is honestly really great. I think she puts out a lot of great work. I think that she brings, you know, the right issues to the table. But and even then, like, she's done. Let me finish my statement before the commenting back, right? Even then, she's had videos that have been critical of men. But you know what? It's done in a way that is logical and it makes sense, right? So say hypothetically if she was to do a video on partner shaming, right? And she'd be like, yeah, no, the guys are just as guilty in this case, which say they were, right? That's completely fair and logical. Like, that's fine. Groups should self-moderate. Everyone should be self-moderating. If a VTuber is going to be like, oh, well, I am the VTuber, right? And say they're like an actual big VTuber, right? And they do something that's not okay, we're gonna come down on that like a sack of bricks, okay? You know, we have I don't know. I was actually gonna get into the situation with what's his face. I can't even remember his name, Boogie or whatever. But I don't even know if it's worth it. I feel like that's just an easy shot. I feel like that's like low-hanging fruit. Like, that's not fair. Like, that man is so easy to dunk on. Like, it's not even fair. But yeah, people should be self-policing that. And even if it's not a group, so say let's take this a step further, right? It's not women policing women. It's not men policing men. It's not the trans community policing other trans creators, right? It's a situation in which, you know, someone on a team, Boogie, does something, right? Or somebody does something. Now, his peers are going to have to hold him accountable. Like, yo, maybe don't say something like that, right? Maybe don't do this. That also comes with the territory. That's not, that takes the whole group and division part of that out of the equation completely. And that's actually what we're seeing as far as I'm aware with the Mr. Beast situation, where, hey, something happened. Who knew? I don't know. Who knows, right? I'm waiting for the Willie Mac video. I'm waiting on actual journalistic reporting to come out on it, right? I'm waiting for opinions that I feel I can trust to come out before making my own educated opinion. However, what I can say at this time is, like, yeah, if the situation wasn't known, holding this person accountable by just ejecting them, I think, is one of the best decisions he could have done. But there is also the wording, and this is why I'm waiting for, you know, people to report on the situation more, is because how much was known. Was this a, you know, Dr. Disrespect situation where, like, people knew about it, like YouTube knew about it, right? And Twitch knew about it, but just, you know, nothing was able to be said? Was this like there's a number of things there that remain to be, you know, answered about that situation. Well, it has cleared M4S. Goddamn, that Black Mage though is going hard. Like, they're rocking it. What a Chad. This individual, and I've actually been called upon that in the past in regards to being this, like, individualistic person, where it's like, oh, well, you're an individualist, and it's like, yeah, and like, I don't, I care about the merit. What has a person done to deserve or not deserve my respect, right? If this person punches toddlers, probably not worth my respect, right? And they're just a single person. They're not indicative of a greater collective. They're just a jerk. If you have that one weird guy at the anime convention that, like, drops his pants, right? Is that indicative of all weebs? No. Is that indicative of everyone that goes to the convention? No, absolutely not. It happens to be just this one person that is really kind of unhinged, right? Small tip for Sam. Sure, yeah. I can pop Pig and Mana. Not the heavy smash. God, it definitely feels it. I've tanked this fight several times. I'm not used to tanking. It's so strange to me. Like, where are my mitigations? Where are my come back here? I'm not done with you buttons. Individuals install some or something are, I guess, yeah. It just seems restrictive. It seems like, how do I word it? Like, looking at Yu-Gi-Oh players, right? How we had to have an actual Konami tournament document say, hey, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh players need to actually, like, shower, right? They need to engage in proper hygiene. I don't think that's necessarily out there. And it's like, yeah, that calls out the specific people in the community, right? And then you treat people as a collective that way. It's like, cool, everyone done? Cool, we're good, right? Say a coworker, right? Say a coworker, because I had this happen, right? And it pisses me off to this day. I will not stop ranting about how awful it was. I had a coworker when I worked in finance. They handed me a collar without verifying them. And I didn't learn until until they dropped off the line and I had to call the person back, right? And another person answered to where they're like, oh yeah, no, I didn't get them pulled up and verified. And I'm like, you what? No write-up, no nothing. But then again, it's just, yeah, the workplace conversation, bro. No, that really, like, that really grinded my gears. Like, that was definitely not okay. But in a situation like that, say where that happens, right? It's like, hey, everybody, I know it's not you. This is our new policy. You will get people verified. If you do not get them verified and it ends up, you end up transferring over to somebody, you will be subject to disciplinary action. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir, no, sir. Grats, we're done here. But you treat people like a collective in that sense because it's like, cool, now we're on the same page, right? Like, we're all on the same page. This makes sense. We want to make sure people are, actually verified to be the person that they are when dealing with their money and their accounts, right? Or off global. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which ones I can actually pop, honestly. Because I've been looking at that. No, my gauge I need to use a lot more. Shifu between 25 gauge spend. Between the globals. Oh, so just pop that effectively off cooldown. Okay. I mean, it's actually a good thing to see how actually damaging it is. Sorry, I can't even think right now. I got on like a tangent and I left the stratosphere. I'm so sorry, chat. Ah, there it is. Yeah, that definitely helps the damage output. Jesus. And you have your one somewhere to actually increase it by 50, so that's actually not bad. Pop that on cooldown. Enemies in straight line. There's the Kenki gauge by 50. There we go. Cool, thanks for that. That actually helps with the rotation a lot. That's actually pretty interesting. I heard what is it? It's just Overwatch without being Overwatch. Which, if that's true, I mean, I'm kind of into it. Main Sam Shadow Ranch, I'm like, why is gauge full? Because I'm camping the gauge like an idiot, and I totally understand that I'm doing that. Hence why I'm doing this, so I can get feedback like that. So I do appreciate you pointing that out. As it turns out, if I'm doing something, it's generally not because I'm being malicious or I'm trying to, like, get a reaction. It's probably because I just don't actually know. But see, even right there, right? That could be taken as, oh, well, Kip, you're just wrong. Yeah? You know what? I learned a thing, though. I was wrong, and I learned a thing. I was doing something the complete wrong way. Wow, it's almost like this is how you have adult interactions, right? It's kind of wild. That's a conversion. I see how that works now. Ow. Come on. Back here. Funny frog. I mean, Ninja's great. I'm awful at it, though. Like, I'm actually awful at Ninja. It's such a cool class, though. I don't like that you can have downtime if you miss your button press, which literally is a actual skill issue moment. Like, oh, Kip, you're angry that you can get bunnied? Just hit your skills. No, you're right. You bring a valid point to the table. Yeah, and that's the even if you miss a single one, like you can just hit that over and over and over for like massive fuck off value. Guts doesn't have without conversation over stakes. Exactly. There. Literally real time. I've proven my point. In which I'm not hitting a gauge correctly. Chat has corrected me. This is how you do it, Kip, you fucking idiot. Not as mean as that. They were actually pretty kind. They were kind about it. Grats, I have learned a thing and now I'm better for that interaction. Cool. Now apply it to literally any other situation. God. Like, it's not hard, bro. It's so aggravating because the things I do and the things I say, like, it's not a hot take. It's steps of logic. It's steps of science. Like, you could like actually like scientific method this shit. What's my hypothesis? Oh, this is how as an adult how you have proper adult interactions. Oh, okay. How do we test this? Oh, well, I do a stream, and on the stream I play Samurai the way I think I play it. Oh, okay, cool. And then what happens when you play Samurai and, oh, this ended up being wrong? Wow, it's almost like these are my findings now. Does this support my hypothesis? Yes, no. Dear God, it's almost like school teaches you shit. Dude. Like, it's wild. I don't even say things that are honestly that out there. They're just common sense. Blind Savage and... Ugh. Yeah, that's fair. And then I got Toxbox to 3 hours deep into a carry. That's, especially if it's a carry, no. That's rough. 20 to 30 minutes, yeah. I've started treating Destiny as prog, honestly. When I go into Destiny, like D2 raids, say if I'm teaching people Rudo Nightmares, it's prog. I will spend an hour in there, hour and a half if we're getting close. But after that, I say, nah, I'm good. I have other things I gotta do with my day. Which is the healthy way to do things. I just literally treat Final Fantasy as prog at this point. Or not, Destiny as prog. Grats. We did this. Cool. I didn't spend 4 hours in Vault of Glass again. Honestly, it's a good day when I don't spend 4 hours in Vault of Glass. Kip, what do you mean you spend 4 hours in Vault of Glass? Look, all I'm saying, bro, some people don't know how to count to 7. Good God. Oracles aren't that hard. Just count to 7. Please, I beg you, count to 7. You want to know how to run oracles? Chat, count 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grats. You literally know how to do oracles. Bro, I'm getting some flashbacks. I'm getting some more flashbacks on that. Good God. Root of Nightmares planets, dude. Oh, man, I've had to try to drag people kicking. I've duoed planets, and we still came up short. Because Homeboy's doing, like, 500,000 damage across, like, 3 phases. And I'm just like, I think he did actually under a mil, never mind. But anyways, we came up short because Homeboy is just like so vastly underpowered. And I'm just like, bro, please. It's not hard. Just hit buttons. Hit buttons, shoot stuff. Please, I beg you. Oh my God, dude. Actually just awful. Skill issue doesn't mean you want to be a jerk about it. If it's a skill issue, give solutions. Exactly. So, okay. So there are certain things I would argue skill issue is relevant for, right? So if I'm, because I'm still new to Sage, right? If I'm new to Sage, right? And I know, hey, this is the break in logic. If somebody explains that to me, awesome, cool. Like, exactly, supporting your point. If I'm playing and somebody says, God, these enemies are just taking way too much fucking damage. I can't tank this. What are you doing? Oh, I'm not pressing mitigations. Like, actually do it? What? Hit buttons. Hit buttons, win. For the love of God, you have buttons. We have showcased right here in this very chat room. There are buttons. I reserve skill issue not for someone having an issue, right? But that's also because I teach Destiny raids, right? Like, I teach D2 raids. I reserve skill issue for someone that, like the person. So you know Well of Radiance in Destiny, right? That one person that always hits it with their rocket, and then they complain it's the Warlock's fault, right? They complain, oh, well, why is the Well of Radiance there? Okay. Skill issue, aim your rocket. We're not talking it was an honest mistake. Like, they get genuinely upset that the well was placed there. That's a skill issue moment. That is a get good. Like, please. With a pre-made group, yeah.
I will have the time and tranquility I require.
This all goes back to say, don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole.
And Gale, gather to me.
It's just generally a pretty bad experience for a lot of people. But also be willing to be respectful of your time.
Unleash your power.
Oh god, right. I'm having like horror stories of this fight because I've had to solo this. I can't believe I got hit by that. I thought I was far enough over.
Pierce my foes.
I've had to solo this from 60%. I didn't like it.
Stars on high. Fall as rain.
Yeah, we need to be this side. I'm just out of range. One, two, three, 4, 2, 3. Two.
Streams of ether. Surge as one.
Okay, so I need to be here, there, and there. Stop casting for a second just 'cause I'm trying to make sure I'm not messing it up. Yeah, I got really good at dodging those, soloing this, synced, over the course of 20 minutes. Oh, that hurt. No, stop giving me stuff! Kip, you're complaining that you got rewards. Can't you just turn it in for your expert delivery? Yes, but that's work, that's effort. But it's free resources, it's effort. Three, sticker 2. A little too late on that.
Stars on high, even when transformed.
I feel like I'm actually doing damage though. I can't push that. 3, 4, pop mitigation. Sure, I'll Higginbon of that. I can't. I could have pushed that. I could have pushed that with Vuln stacks, but I didn't want to actually risk it. Wow, our party actually did it without dying. I'll take that, honestly. That's a good run. That is a. I'm happy. I'm happy it didn't take me 20 minutes to solo it, dude. I'm so jazzed. It's so good. Oh, that dungeon and I have a rough time anytime I played it. I need to be one saying I've heard my family. Yeah, that's fair. Learning curve melee DPS is learning when to use True North to lower risk. I like keeping it on cooldown at all times personally. I need to use True North a lot more. That is something that I fully acknowledge that I do not use enough of. True North is a solid ability that just, I mean, yeah. You're able to make some safe plays with it. I think that was it for leveling. Yeah, because now I have 94, but I gotta I'd have to do like will cores and more for the. I might be able to actually get the level up. What's my queue? My timer? 9 minutes. I'll do 1 will cores and more. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, getting to 95, that's not bad. 95 dungeons, not awful. And my Diadoko's gear will carry me through it. Yeah, 93 will be fine. 95, it gets a little tight, especially with some of the attacks. It gets a little tight, but it'll be fun. I mean, we're getting there. 95 samurai. I started at what, 92, just under 93 today, something like that. Or started at 92, I think. I mean, that's progress today. Did I do the raid? No, not yet. Not today. I did the raid, yes. The 4 was actually really great. Actually. We're gonna swap it up at the end. I'm gonna actually play some dank. The instant queue, yes! BGM 100. The soundtrack goes hard. Video recently, login problem now. Waiting to log in tomorrow. So yeah, well, hopefully the login problem gets resolved for you. It's good to see ya. Thanks for coming out. Level the rest of the way. Yeah, I mean, I just do highest level dungeon. I just do my daily roulettes. Like, it's gotten me this far. You need to get the weapon item each week. Yeah, I need to go for the weapon because I currently have. The weapon is better. Yeah, because it's no Savage is 730. What's regular? What's the gear score on regular? 710, 700. Because 700's the tombstone gear.
This is nothing personal, but I must have your soul.
2,
Wicked Thunder has returned to the ring!
3, set up damage. OGCD, get mana back.
There is no limit to Electrope's potential.
This one always messes me up a little bit. This on Savage, I feel, was definitely a little bit of a progress gate. Oh, hey, I'm off. Oh, no, I ain't main tanking this one. I was like, yeah, I'm off tanking. Oh, never mind, I got the A next to me. Welcome to Kip. I main tank everything that I do.
Electrope has many uses. Watch and learn.
Scott.
Oh, look at that massive cannon. Her skills are as sharp as ever.
On right. The machinist dude is just out there. I fucking love it. Okay, so that's gonna be a left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left.
Vicious blow! Oh, that'll leave a mark.
One, two. So that's 2 lefts. Right. No, it was right, left, left, right. So I'll eat 1 stack. That's fine. I couldn't see where the first one was. Leave. It really is such a cool fight, though. Passage of arms that. Oh, moved too soon. It's fine.
If one needs wings, one needs simply make them.
She's great wings. Ha! Wickedly divine.
I love the announcer. The announcer is one of the hardest parts about this. Like, he went so hard. Oh, I had itched my nose. Okay, so it actually extends to that line. That's not bad, though. Gonna be a right side. The community's gonna have a field day with Horse Lady, 100%. Three, that's gonna be a right. Right.
Oh my! The challenger went down hard.
It's fine, I'll take two, that's not bad. I need to be popping reprisal way
Back
more.
on their feet. What brings?
Did he jerk that on me? Hell yeah, dude.
I'll erase you.
On left.
Oh dear, the challenger's fallen out.
Bipolar blast. That'll be a right, left, right, left, right, right, left. So that's a right, that's a left, right. No, stay. Right, left. There we go. Good shit. Man, that was that that was an Elden Ring attack. She held that attack until the heat death of the universe. Hell yeah. 2, 3, 4, and
They're still in it,
5.
but for how long?
You can see that I'm a far better tank than I am a melee DPS. I am awful at melee DPS.
Be gone.
Right, because they're going to do that, so I need to grid that. Yeah, we were standing right on that. Okay, so that's going to be right-hand side. We'll be fine here. 2, that'll be fine in a second. 3, 4. Ray to Wrath. This one fucks me up a little bit. Haha! Made it. Now I need to pull them away from the part. I don't mean to stack on that. Ew. Sheltron is one of the most busted class abilities in the game. Like, it's actually disgusting. Have you read Holy Sheltron? It's just like a paragraph of like what this thing actually does. I almost said card. I'm actually in Yu-Gi-Oh mode. I'm just like, oh yeah, this card does this. It isn't a card. So you honestly, it looks like you want to stay close to the center here. 2, 3 and 4. That's an easy avoid. Okay, that's fine. And then obviously, okay, 5th hit, which I didn't even see, but I still dodged. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to healing this. You see what I mean? You have free buttons. You have buttons that say your opponent does less damage. It is the, like, best thing as a tank. Use your mitigations, please, I beg you. They're off cooldown for a reason. Depending on the pull, like Tower of Zot, I do, like, triple mitigations in certain pulls. You know, I'll do, like, Rampart and Reprisal and stuff. Yes, you get diminishing returns, but sometimes your healer needs just that extra little bit. 5-fold blast. That's going to be a left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, and right. Good shit. Oh, wrong button. I did not want to. Yeah, I did not want to do passive arms right there. That was unfortunate. I hear her Enrage and Savage is nutty. Like her one, it's like what, 2%? You better be popping limit break that 1%. You have to kill her or else that cast will actually wipe the party.
I cannot. I must not lose.
Reprisal. Has my other tank been using Reprisal this whole time? No, because they're main tank again. We keep swapping. I think it's because my damage keeps faltering with my burst window. Request Giat, 1 Hones, DOT, 2 Blade of Faith.
Just die already.
3, 4, 5. Generally, I would just want to be saving my Passage of Arms for this, but in the case where I'm an idiot, not exactly possible. 1, 2.
I need your soul.
Now I can just go ahead and spam. No, I can't. We are still just far enough off from the boss. That Divine Might spam is not going to do it. 1.5. God, like, it's such a cool Enrage mechanic. Pop Veil. Easy. Killing 45 seconds for Enrage Day 1. That's wild. Maybe it was the runs I was hearing about. No weapon, actually. Yeah, I have that. I need that. Pass on earrings. I already have Black Kitten. I do need the soundtrack though. Yeah, those are gonna be a pass. 49. Yeah, I mean you might as well just roll for everything. 63, I think I lose it. I think I lose the soundtrack. Chemical adjustments. I'll probably have to figure out doing that. I tricky to be fair. Even the easy ones are more complex to maximize than casters. Yeah, I mean, but like, clearly, like, not the hardest content in the game, but you know, current raid status. I thought that was the Project Melody bot up there to the left. Yeah, I didn't even get it. I might get the armor. That's all I think I'm gonna get though. I might get the armor. I might be able to get the pants, actually. The huge knockback just kills you if you're in the wrong spot. That's wild. Would love to do Savage. Oh, did I not roll on that? Would love to do Savage. It is outside of my purview right now. Sure, I'll give it to the Scholar. But, like, it's... tanking. Hit buttons. I wasn't even hitting all my mitigations. Which I should be. Don't get me wrong. I should be hitting my mitigations more. However, in that case, I have just enough armor value, and I have enough of a level I didn't have to. Be cognizant. Keep the enemy away from your team. Sometimes the boss is just gonna say, "Nah, I wanna go here now." Can't really do much about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not hard. I think that because I had it for the longest time, I had a huge thing about tank where I'm just like, oh man, like this has got to be like, something that's just unobtainable, or it's something that's just so hard. And then I picked up tank and I'm just like, God, I love it, dude. Tank is just built different. Disciple of War 1. Maybe? Wait, it's augmentation. Oh god, I need to remember how this works. There it is, relic exchange. I don't even think you can... No one's gonna have the Savage gear for a hot minute, right? Because it requires several pieces. So we're not even gonna see those for a hot minute. No, pants actually require 4. So pants and thing require 4. Okay. That's good to know. Which is fine. I just do more stuff like tonight. That's not bad. That really was... It's not bad, though. Like, the new raid series, it's long. It's tight. If you mess up, recovery can be hard. But it's not bad. It really isn't. So... that is going to do it for me on the YouTube front. It is currently almost 8 o'clock where I'm at. So I don't know what I'm necessarily going to do. I'm probably going to take the rest of the night off. This will be available on YouTube if you did miss it. And I'm just going to watch the numbers. I will probably be live over on Twitch tomorrow. Going to go just kind of relax for a little bit and go play some stuff. But thank you everyone for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on VODs over on the Kip Reacts channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on the VODs over on the Kids in the Kip TV channel, the VOD channel.